Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he's always the same.
That's me.
Also with us today, reoccurring guest on the show, the magnificent Son X.
X.
That's right. That's right. How's everybody doing tonight?
Wonderful X.
Not
Very
bad.
good.
Not
Very
bad.
good.
We've got a lot of sports action to cover today. I'm excited. I'm sure you listeners and viewers at home are too. But before we get today's show started, always some general housekeeping. If you're new to this channel, this is a twice a week all sports podcast that takes place every single Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're new to the channel, we invite you to stick around a while. We invite you to subscribe on YouTube, to like on Facebook, and to follow on Twitter. Make sure you go ahead and give us a hey, and if you enjoy the content, right, leave a thumbs up. Apparently that helps the algorithm. It helps get mine, the Grumpy Old Man, and Son X's word out to the masses. As I mentioned earlier, this is an all sports podcast. We talk anything and everything sports. We talk NFL, NBA, MLB, a little bit of college basketball, college football, world football, NHL, anything and everything sports. Today, obviously, March Madness, the NCAA tournament has kicked off. It's a lot of fun and interesting games. A lot of teams have heard early exits. Hate to say that yours truly happened to pick one of those last week, and Grumpy thought they were going to make a little bit of a run, but Virginia got the good old boot out of the tournament early this year again. Also, we've got NFL free agency. Since the last time we've been on, NFL free agency took place, and there's been some crazy moving and shaking. Champions League and Europa League have offered quite a few interesting twists as well. Also worth mentioning, we've got an injury to talk about here, a big injury to an important player in the MLB. It's over before it even started. So no better way to talk about, or I guess to introduce today's show. Let's talk a little March Madness, right? I've got some college basketball hoops action. Grump, you know, what's been the most entertaining game you've seen today regarding March Madness?
I think the Princeton game. I like upsets, and I thought Princeton upsetting Arizona was phenomenal. Loved it. I thought it was exciting down to the end. I like to see it a little school. You know, I mean, Princeton is not exactly known for their athletic promise. A lot of Ogilvies play there. Great in algebra. But I'm going to say that game. X, is there a team that you, or a game that you liked?
I was going to say either that or the Virginia game. But I will say I think the deficit was larger in the Princeton game, and they came back. Their defense absolutely won them that game. They are a defensive powerhouse, and they don't quit. They do not quit.
This is the first win for Princeton since, I think, the 1990s.
1988. It's their first win since 1988.
There it is. Thank God. Thanks for that, though. But, I mean, you look at the game, 1-point game with 29 seconds remaining, and just look at this.
Aloma. He's going to get double teamed. He kicks it out. Martini thought about a shot, baseline pass, and then foul underneath.
He has hit the free throw. You talk about that ultimate pressure there when you go to the free throw. Did he hit both of those free throws?
Both of his free throws.
Yep.
Yeah,
sure enough did.
Yeah, my gosh. And Arizona was that 2 seed, right?
They were.
They weren't ready for that defense. I mean, I think they had, what was it, 5 or 6 blocks today? Princeton did?
Teams that can play defense do really well in the tournament.
Yep.
You're going to be in every game. It's the reason why I'm picking Duke to go to the Final Four. They're so good defensively. The team they played today, Oral Roberts, averaging 87 points a game, 45. I mean, they just shut them down. They're so good on the interior defense. Derek / Drew Lively has just looked phenomenal. For a big guy, he can really move under there. He's not a polished offensive player, but defensively, for a guy, 7'1", He can really move. He guards the perimeter. He can get back and guard the interior, and he comes out of nowhere to block shots as they're coming. Tremendous job by that Duke team. They're really, really tight as a unit.
Well, you ask, right? Let's. I'm going to go ahead and share my opinion on my favorite upset of today. Not only because I thought that Virginia would be having an early exit, but the manner in which Furman wins this game is just freaking nuts. This is, we talk about March Madness. This is March Madness, encapsulated in one 30-second clip, right? Furman is down 65-67. They're inbounding the ball, or they're about to be inbounding the ball. There's 12 seconds left.
And the four guards out there, along with Cedric, are their best free throw shooters. Clark in a straight jacket.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I misphrased that. Virginia was inbounding the ball. My mistake. Virginia was inbounding this ball, and Furman is down 2 points with 12 seconds left. Virginia, just don't screw it up, right?
let him foul you.
There, along with Cedric, are their best free throw shooters.
He lets himself. Everyone runs away. Why are you running away? Go and help him.
Holy shit.
Also, what a clutch shot from the kid from Furman, though.
What a colossal blunder by Virginia.
True.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they shot themselves. Yeah, exactly. Should he
That's
have a
the same
scholarship
thing.
for Vogue, TJ? Should he have a scholarship for Vogue?
Revoke the scholarship. Take
He's
it away.
walking home. No flight with the team. You're walking home.
You better get your walking shoes on. Holy crap. My God almighty. You have a 2-point lead. You're getting that full court press, and your first reaction, it's not like he's not a freshman out there in the court. His first reaction, I'm going to chuck it. I can't even chuck it all the way down the court. I chuck it about halfway there, allowing for an easy interception.
In his defense, he tried to throw it all the way down there. He had two guys on him. He was leaning back. I don't know why he just doesn't try to bang it off of one of the guy's legs to knock the ball out. That's what he should have done.
Threw as hard as he could off their leg.
Oh, my God.
I mean, there were two guys there, but the one guy just running away from the spot. Dude, like right here, number 2. Look at number 2. Where you going? Where you going, 2?
Holy
Where you
shit.
going?
And then, okay, this is the good one, too. Like, you look at the defense. What the
Well, the thing is, you can't hold it back there because you only get a certain amount of time before you got to.
They've got 5 seconds left.
Here's the thing.
Why, oh, why? You have this. Look at the way the offense is set up. We've got one guy here on the perimeter, one guy here deep in the perimeter, one guy moving the ball forward, and one guy over here deep in the perimeter. What the fuck do you think you're going to do trying to charge the guy who's entering from half court? You've got a guy on. Look at him.
Look at the way his body's going. He's shifting to go cover that guy. Watch.
He stupidly ran forward. He's like, oh, this is my guy.
Okay, that's a long three.
TJ.
That's
That's
a
Okay,
long
it's a long
three.
3, but okay, let's talk about the fundamentals, right? Come on.
That's well past an NBA 3. I mean, that's a long ways out.
Shh.
And here's the thing. Even though the kid threw the ball down there, Furman had to execute 2 plays to get that to work, right? The kid has to make the interception and make that pass, and that kid's got to launch it, and they all do it within 3 seconds.
So many mistakes there by Virginia.
Kudos to Furman.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I'm not sure the shot. Kudos for Furman. Absolutely. But this is just a mixed execution across the board by Virginia. They put good pressure on, but you look at how many mistakes Virginia had to make by multiple players on this sequence in order to screw this up.
Well,
My God.
For Virginia had no timeouts left.
They had 1 timeout left.
Oh, well, then it's even worse because you absolutely call a timeout then. I'm looking here. I don't see a timeout.
What's coach doing?
Well, it's the players got to call a timeout. But here's the thing. I don't see them having a timeout.
Okay, you see that right there at the bottom, Grump?
Oh,
White line underneath the V.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's even worse now.
Furman had no timeouts left. Virginia did. That's why as soon as they hit the shot, they called the timeout. Virginia did.
Yeah, you got to call the timeout there. Have to do it.
God
That was
almighty.
colossal blunder. Even worse. I thought they were out of timeouts.
Mm.
Right here. Call your timeout. Bang it off the guy. He's practically forcing you out of bounds.
Well, let me ask you this, right? Because when you call that timeout and you inbound the ball, you have another 10 seconds in the backcourt, right?
You got 5 seconds to throw the ball in. But it doesn't matter. You got
No,
to
I'm
time
saying
out.
once you have 10 seconds to cross the midway. You have 10 seconds to cross the halfway point, and correct?
Yeah,
Midcourt.
but there was only 12 seconds left in the game. Just call
My
your
point
timeout.
being,
Everything reset.
called
As
the
soon as
timeout.
there's, that's my point. As soon as there's 7 seconds left, call your timeout. Just catch the ball and freaking hold it because you've got the 10 seconds.
Okay. It doesn't matter. He's not looking at the clock. He's got 2 guys hanging over him. Coach should have said, if you get in any trouble, we have an extra timeout. Maybe he did. I don't know. But no timeout, catastrophic blunder. And no one came back. No one went to help him. No
My
one went
point
to
is,
the
as
guy
soon
with the
as
ball.
it
They
hit
ran away
9
from him.
As soon as it hit 9 seconds, right, being heads up basketball, call my timeout. Just inbound the ball and just grip it. You got 10 seconds in
Here's
the
the thing.
backcourt. That's my
All he
point.
had to do was hold the ball. They would have fouled him.
Correct.
That's what
Or
would
if
have
you
happened.
didn't, you just call your timeout, you regroup, and you just go ahead and immediately pass the ball. And again, they have to foul you.
He had a brain fart, and it cost Virginia. Here's the thing: Virginia was not winning the tournament.
Correct.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Man, oh man. You talk about freaking craziness. I mean,
Well, what does it say about Alabama? The 2 big upsets of the day, both on their side of the bracket.
Pretty
got a
easy
cakewalk.
road. Yep.
Alabama's going to be a Final Four team. Absolutely.
yeah, I think that, right, you're looking at it. I mean, Texas took care of business today like they had to. But, it's the late games, right? I mean, you're looking at, and these are other sides of the bracket. You've got Houston playing. I think Houston won't get knocked out in the first round, but I don't see Houston being extremely successful.
You know who else I don't see being hugely successful, making it to the Final Four?
Hugely successful?
Yeah,
Like,
none of that. Purdue. They're in Duke's side of the bracket.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Pitt.
Pitt already won their playing game, ladies and gentlemen. Pittsburgh for a big run.
Woo! They made the tournament.
They're going to clobber Iowa State tomorrow. Absolutely demolish them, Grump.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Oh, man. It's just pure Americana, fantastic college basketball. I don't know. The March Madness
is already here.
Yes. Early and often. It's the 3rd year in a row that a number 2 seed's beaten a 15 or a number 15 seed's beaten a number 2 seed.
Was not aware of that.
Yep. 3rd year in a row. How freaking nuts is that?
And every year there's like a 12 who beats a 5. Well, that didn't happen the first 2 games today. Duke steamrolled Oral Roberts, and on the other side of the bracket, same thing.
College of Charleston lost to.
Oh, that's right. College of Charleston lost to San Diego State.
San Diego State. Yep.
Yes.
Well, I do want to show you because I want to get some comments too because we got a lot to talk about today. Did you guys happen to see Trevor Zegras? I'm sorry. People are so meticulous about how I pronounce his name. Trevor Zegras. Did you happen to see his goal last night?
Tremendous.
Or I'm sorry, maybe his play.
His assist.
To the back of the net. It's a nice finish by Shattenkirk, but what a play.
Holy
by Trevor
shit.
Zegras.
Oh.
Trevor Zegras. Look at the pass here. Oh, I wonder. Hey, Ryan Pulak. I wonder if all the Twitter GMs and Twitter coaches were shitting all over Ryan Pulak after this one.
Well,
It's
Butch
just a fantastic play.
did say yesterday that he's got to take that pass away. Has to take the pass away. He didn't. He was caught. He got, you know what he looked like? He looked worse than Noah Dobson on that play.
It's just, you talk about the guys that make the sport exciting.
That's what the NHL wants.
Yep. This is a guy who they already pushed. I think he was on the cover of the NHL.
He was on the cover of NHL 23. He was.
This is a guy that if they could put the pieces around him, the NHL is going to be pushing him like nobody else's business because he is exciting to watch. He's a freaking, we talk about playmakers, right? How Matt Barzal's a playmaker. This kid, I think, is already a better playmaker than Matt Barzal is.
I don't know. They're both really good. They're different stylistically.
Yes.
A couple things I just want to add to that. Anaheim sucks.
They do.
They really suck. Well-deserved win for the Islanders yesterday. But I love that Ducks third jersey. Love it. Absolutely love it.
I did too. I've always liked the Mighty Duck.
Mighty Duck face. Yep.
But I like the orange. The orange is so good because you can put so many colors with it. I mean, even that, it has the green and yellow trim, but on that orange, it looks phenomenal.
See, I like the old Mighty Ducks the old Ducks uniform with that kind of greenish color on there. the white, green, and purple.
The old retro, the old throwback is good. Now, I'm not sure if you guys happen to see this news, but the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League is planning on having a rule in place that will ban fighting beginning in the 2023-2024 season.
No.
What a fucking joke.
Fighting is part of the sport.
If that league isn't soft enough already,
Yes.
what are you going to do? Let's say you're a tough guy. What are you going to do? You're going to have to go play somewhere else.
Yep. No fighting. What an absolute joke. Honestly, I hope this sinks the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. This is a fucking joke. It's an absolute joke.
The Ice Capades coming to you courtesy of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
Do you remember during COVID, they banned checking in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League until they said, that shit's not going to fly. People just tuned it right off.
That's like the women's game. There's no checking allowed in the women's game.
But because of COVID, they said they didn't want, even though they were doing the COVID test, they're doing this, they're doing that, they banned checking in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League because of COVID. They didn't want, even though you had to test negative in order to play those games, they still didn't want any checking over this time period. Now we're at a spot to where they're going to ban fighting.
I want to apologize to our Canadian friends who watch this podcast, but Canada, oh, come on.
Well, no, it's the OHL and the WHL is not doing it. It's just Quebec Major Junior Hockey League.
I'm just saying the no checking because of COVID. Stop. Then don't play. Don't play.
God almighty.
Don't take elements out of the game. I don't even know. I mean, is there a fighting problem in the Quebec Major Junior League that I have been unaware of?
Must be a big problem. How many fights there are? It's
probably the only fight all year is this one right here.
This is a fight actually from 3 years ago. They had to go up and grab a stock photo.
They couldn't even get one from this year. They had to go 3 years back.
I'm joking around, of course.
So what happens? I have a question. What happens if they have fan fights in the stands? You're not allowed to
they have a chance. They have a higher chance of fans getting in fights than they do a fight on the fucking ice.
Well, you know that's what's going to eventually happen. They're going to be like, well, there's no fights going on in the game. I came here to see fights. Might as well start one.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's always the Quebec Major Juniors. They've always had a reputation for being a soft league, right? A lot of skill, no checking, very little defense, certainly no fighting. I just don't understand the rule. I don't know who's in charge, but they should be fired.
If you could fix the wire on your mic, every time you hit your hands down, I hear the little bit of the pole grumpy.
I don't care. I don't hear anything. I'm fine.
I know you don't hear anything, but I do. But yes, I tell you, this infuriated me. No checking in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. You're right. What an absolute joke. But here's the thing. How do all of these rule changes in the MLB, in the NHL, and all of these leagues work? They try it out in they try it out in minor league baseball. They try it out in the juniors. They try it out in leagues underneath, and they say, great, let's see how this would work if we go ahead and integrate this in our game. Hey, we put the stop clock, or we put the pitch count, or the little clock on for the pitching, and we'll try it out in the minor league baseball system. Well, we're just going to go ahead and move that now in the MLB. Well, we're going to start with no fighting in Quebec. And then maybe the OHL and the WHL will adopt it as well after a while, and then it's gonna work its way into the NHL.
It would end poorly for the NHL. You'd see a lot of people not go to games and stop watching if they.
A lot of casual fans who don't watch hockey who are like, oh, the same thing with NASCAR. People right? Some people watch I watch for the wrecks or I watch for the action in NASCAR. There are fans like that. And when you say, oh, yeah, we're not going to show any of the wrecks as soon as it happens, we're just going to pan away. It's no fighting in hockey. No fighting. Banning fighting. What's going to happen if you fight? How many game suspension do you think you're going to get?
I think what you're seeing sports try to turn everything into to engage the younger, useless fans because, all they do is play video games. They don't really experience life for the most part. So what they're trying to do is turn these sports into kind of like video games.
Did you see what they do with the NHL?
Well, that's my point.
Oh, yeah.
They want all that, hey, let's do the fantastic behind the legs passes, this, that, and the other thing. Look fantastic. Let's make the bases bigger so that everyone can see it. Let's all just swing for home runs, because that's what they do when they play the MLB games. It's a shame. It's a shame. All you millennials and whatever Gen Zers or whatever the hell you're called, just losers.
There it is.
X and TJ.
Grumpy.
I'm not one of those. Andrew L. Grumpy.
Some would say TJ is right on time.
Oh, I did want to say something, TJ, about the pitch clock as well. I don't know if you noticed, Pete Alonso does this now. He will sprint to the dugout, so that way because he does like a meditation thing before he gets up at bat. And you're going to see a lot of guys probably start doing this. If they know the next inning, they're the first one up in the lineup, they'll sprint to the dugout, grab their stuff, and get ready beforehand because it gives them more time before they have to get in the box.
I don't know how it's going to have a long-term effect.
I think it's good. I think it's good for Major League Baseball. Making the bases bigger is just stupid. Banning the shift is just stupid. All you're doing is letting the children who, they put too many guys over there. I can't. They're all stopping me from hitting the ball. They should move them to the other side. No. You know what? Learn how to be a well-balanced ball player. Hit the other way, or have a batting average of 200 and strike out, 150 times a year. I mean, you can
like
do
Joey
that.
Gallo.
I mean, just learn how to go the other way. I don't believe in changing the rules because of the way the players refuse to adjust to the defensive alignment. I just think that's stupid. I think making the bases bigger is stupid. The pitch clock is good, though. I do like that.
Yeah, I agree. I like the pitch clock as well.
Got a comment here from Drew L. Grumpy.
Well, the chaos has already started March Madness. Arizona loses to number 15 seed Princeton. Virginia loses to the number 13 seed Furman. Yes.
That's
There
right.
it is. I tell you, it's
The madness.
what was that, X?
I said the madness.
The madness. Oh man, it's what it is. I'll tell you. We've got here Stephen Porter says, "Go ahead and show this I sent you." I'm trying to. We'll try to get it pulled up here in a second.
For those who don't know, we know Stephen Porter. He's a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan. I didn't think there were any of them left, any of those Yinzers. I didn't think there were any of them left, but I guess there still are.
Yes, Grumpy. Next comment.
TJ Grumpy, Son X, how are you guys doing tonight? It's 9-5, Florida over the Canadians in the third period.
Wow.
Yes, I think Florida scored 7 goals in the first period. What does it tell you?
Florida scored 7 goals. Montreal scored 3 goals. You talk about a high-scoring affair.
What does it? What does it tell you about Florida's defense? Florida might make it in the playoffs. They have an easy schedule the rest of the way. Their offense is heating up. They could make it into the playoffs. Technically, they'd be 1 point ahead of the Islanders if they win all their outstanding games. Right?
Yes, they've got 3 points behind, 2 games in hand.
Yeah. And but how far are they going when they don't have any defense? How far do those teams go? They don't go anywhere.
We look at it here. The Florida Panthers and the Canadians averaged a goal every 2 minutes in the opening frame. 10 goals, 10 combined goals, tied an NHL record for most ever in the first period. It ties there back in 1987, Vancouver 6, Calgary 4, and in 1982, Montreal 5, Buffalo 5.
Okay, just scroll to the top with the start of that, all the other direction.
Give me a second, Grump.
There you go. NHL public relations. They couldn't wait. Let me tell you something. They were freaking pleasuring themselves when they saw that it was getting close to that 10 goals. So they could, my gosh, let's show everyone how it's like a video game. They got their hands in their pants and they're pleasuring themselves to put out this tweet. They are. Look at this, 10 goals. Everyone watch. It's a goal every 2 minutes, just in case you weren't able to do addition or subtraction or multiplication or division. 10 into 20 is every 2. But they figured they did that for you. At least they did that correctly.
I'm so happy they did that for me.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna try to pull this up here. Stephen, it is gonna be tough for me to pull up this video you sent us, my friend.
You work on that, and I'm gonna read some of the comments. TJ, Drew from Drew's music review, New Reviews Music. TJ decided to go full 1970s porn star look with the stash. Respect.
Thank you.
Nick D immediately after says 80s porn style. Yo. What did the warden say when she saw your little mustache there, fella?
You missed a spot.
Oh, X.
No, I don't think she said that, but pretty close to it.
Pretty close. Tony Cheese adds in, I don't know why TJ would think that mustache is acceptable.
It's acceptable, all right. Don't you worry.
Nick D, TJ has a porn stash, a flavor saver. Yikes, I'm not touching that one.
He's trying to be Magnum PI.
That's it. Very true. Yeah, I can't do that song. Drew also says, I saw so many people pick Oral Roberts to beat Duke. My God, how stupid do they look?
Yep.
I mean, I have Duke going to the Final Four.
Well, I think Oral Roberts beat them one year, which is why they did. Didn't they beat them 1 year?
25 years ago? Stop. Come on. Like I said, I was this close to saying Duke for national championship. This freaking close. I find out that's who Obama picked. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
All righty, continue along, Grumpy. Next comment.
D-Cut says, good evening, everyone. And D-Cut is a member of Isles Misery Rated R, that fantastic Facebook fan page, who are loyal supporters of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast, even though the evil TJ is firmly not in their corner, but the grumpy old man always is. Hello, D-Cut.
What's up,
Nick D says, I feel like watching the sabotage video by the Beastie Boys. TJ,
did you read his comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I went to the one after that. I'm sorry. Go back to that one. Let's do this one first.
Screw up. What that Grumpy? Okay, this is why Grumpy can't. Hold on. Stop. Grumpy cannot be left in charge of anything because he half pays attention. He fucking screws it up. You see what I'm talking about, X?
Not true. Not true.
I just found it funny that you hyped him up and then you didn't even go and read his comments. Oh, that's funny. You got too caught up in the hyping.
Well, here's the thing. I thought TJ was still pulling that up. I didn't know he was still putting the comments up, so I was reading the little tiny comments on the side.
Gotcha.
Drew says, yeah, why didn't the Virginia guy call timeout here? Boneheaded play that cost me my bracket.
Yep.
That's what happens, Drew. A lot of brackets busted today. Arizona. Virginia.
There will be one or two more upsets for sure in this first round.
Yeah. Tomorrow there'll be upsets too.
Yep.
Nick D says, I feel like playing the sabotage video.
Better 08 or 10.
I apologize. I finally got it up, but continue, Grumpy.
I feel like watching the sabotage video by the Beastie Boys. TJ, is Paige going to grab a coffee and a donut for you?
Yes, I guess because I'm a police officer now.
Yep.
But this is the video Porter wanted us to show.
Which Steelers defense you think is better, 08 or 10?
I just thought the 10 group. The 10 group beat you up. Let's be honest, we're talking about historical perspective. Like, that collection of men created what we know now as the Player Safety Initiative.
Bad dudes.
The powers that be watched them play, and they said, this is not good for football.
How the rules have changed.
You want to know what Ben Roethlisberger should have asked Mike Tomlin?
What's that?
Which Patriot team was better? The one that beat us in the AFC Championship game in 2001, 2000, just name them, 2016, 2014, 2013. Just ask them. 2007, every year you find the Patriots beating the Steelers. That's what we should really be talking about. Led by the people's champion.
Oh my gosh, looky there. Oh, look at Grumpy. D-Cut, or I'm sorry, Nick D, Grumpy.
3-2 Rangers over the Pens with less than 5 minutes left. The Rangers wound up winning that game 4-2. I guess they got an empty netter.
There it
I'm
is.
not rooting for the Penguins, but that does help the Islanders. Pittsburgh now, I think, has 2 games in hand, and they're tied with the Islanders points-wise. I still think Pittsburgh, even with that useless dog, Tristan Jarry in net, and he certainly shit the bed. I don't even remember. 4 goals on 7 shots his last
4
outing.
goals on 6 shots. Yep.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know about Pittsburgh. That guy, like I said, you shouldn't even be allowed to put ice in his drink. That's as close as you should get to playing an NHL game.
Damn, Grumpy. Get some water.
Drew
Grumpy.
says, I hate to break it to you, Grumpy. I shoot like damn near 40% in practice from that spot that Furman shoots it from. That's not that deep. Drew,
I don't know.
Drew,
We ain't talking 2K.
Drew,
Oh, good gracious.
Drew, you're full of shit because that was like a 30-foot shot.
That was deep as hell.
I hit alley oops. You know what we do? We do alley oops in that area. Go ahead.
That was like that was well past NBA free range.
I hit hook shots from that deep, Grumpy. Just
That was an absolute bomb. Dickie V would even be getting on there from way downtown. Bang.
put a little English on it. Oh goodness. Drell said, "Buddy, thought he was Mahomes trying to throw that heave."
I was about to say he thought Reek down there somewhere, but then he realized, oh, I only have Travis Kelce.
So, TJ, to transition to everybody's favorite topic on the show, let's talk some NFL free agency. Home, we're going to wait on that, but we will. Let's get some of these comments. Andrew L. says here, the Rangers win, which is a good thing, I guess.
It's absolutely a good thing for Islander fans. Absolutely. It means that Pittsburgh comes back to the pack a little bit. So if Florida goes on a run at the end, you know, the Islanders have a little wiggle room. Maybe Pittsburgh shits all over themselves, or they play Tristan Jarry in net, because those are automatic losses. I guarantee you he didn't play net today. I mean, it was only 3 goals in the third period. That's not him. He usually gives 3 goals on the first 6, 7 shots. So that's not him.
Thanks, comment there, Grubby.
By the way, TJ, I'm curious. Do you hate Joe Shane? Why do you dislike the thing I sent you in the DMs?
Tristan Jarry did play in that.
I can't believe it.
Well, that's why they lost.
There you go.
But you're asking me, why do I not like Joe Shane?
Yeah.
It's like the Darren Waller trade. I'm like, why? What was the point of that? Darren Waller's a guy who's been banged up the last 2 years. He's a 30-year-old tight end. You give up a 3rd-round pick, and you could have got Hayden Hurst for free in free agency. For free.
Maybe he was already – maybe Hayden Hurst had already decided to go to Carolina.
Hayden Hurst determined to go wherever the most money was.
I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad a deal. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a life-changing deal, but it gives him a legitimate weapon. Darren Waller, when he's healthy, it's better than
top two tight ends.
Let me ask you this. When a guy, the players get healthier when they turn 30 and they've had back-to-back years of injuries in football, or do they usually get a little bit more banged up?
No, they usually
Tom Brady never got hurt as he got older.
Hurt. Played till he was 45.
Let's not talk excluding kickers and quarterbacks.
Oh, no. Usually the older you get, the more injury prone you get. That's true. That said, when he's playing, it's not like Hayden Hurst is like a warrior out there playing every single game. He's missed games too. But like I said, Darren Waller gives him a weapon that Daniel Jones is going to need a lot of. The Giants also signed Paris Campbell to a 1-year deal today.
What a waste.
I mean, you're just kind of.
Hey, number 3 wideout. We welcome you with open arms. What's the point?
And they signed Darius Slayton back too.
Terrific. More of
they need a wide receiver, a big wide receiver desperately.
Well, apparently they're having meetings with Adam Thielen. So.
But Adam Thielen's kind of
32-year-old wide receiver that's at the tail end of his career. Like, that's my point. It's not like we're getting hyped over that. He signed back. He gave a quarterback who's a journeyman quarterback in Daniel Jones a huge contract. He went ahead and signed back guys. He brought in he brought in a 3rd wideout, a number 3 wideout, and he brought in a tight end. He gave up a 3rd. Think about this. The Miami Dolphins traded a 3rd-round pick for 28-year-old Jalen Ramsey, who has not had injury issues in the past, who is still a top 5 corner in the game. We give up a 3rd-round pick for a guy who is an injury-prone tight end who's 30 years old.
But he's making $25 million or $26 million a year guaranteed money. Giants don't need that in a cornerback position. They don't have
I'm
that type of
saying,
money.
talking about the value that's traded and what they had to give up to get a guy who's a top tier corner in the NFL.
But it's the money that they'd have to pay him towards the salary cap. That's the reason why it was only
Make
a third
the
round pick.
money work.
That's my fault. I thought you would. I didn't realize you were still in the Giants. I thought you had said the Panthers were looking at a player. Sorry, my fault.
No. Joseph said, "I'm amazed Zegras dropped to 9th with that type of pucks, with those type of puck skills and stick handling. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah,
Very good. Exciting to watch.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
he wasn't physical enough. And here, Nick D hits it the nail on the head. The Quebec Major Junior Hockey League is full of pansies. I agree.
It is, and we got another one here. Frank Grumpy.
Hello. Ooh,
What's up, Frank?
Ooh.
Frank says also, nice job, Rangers. Congratulations, Joe. Goon says, TJ, do you feel at times like you were the Baba Booey of the show?
Baba Booey. It's not Baba Booey. It's Baba Booey.
Why don't you keep watching? Why don't you keep watching?
It's
March
Baba
Madness there,
Booey.
bro? Why don't you keep just staring at March Madness over there? All right.
Oh my God. Keep dreaming.
Meaning that you're shown a lack of respect sometimes by your cohorts, despite having a heart of gold / working hard. Yeah, I don't care. I don't know what I am, but it's just like, I don't know. It is what it is.
Do you know who Baba Booey is?
Yes, from Howard Stern, Grumpy.
Who is it?
Grump.
Baba
It's from the
Booey.
Howard Stern show many
Who?
years ago.
Who is the character that Howard always said Baba Booey to?
Could not tell you.
Gary Delabate.
Beat.
Beat.
Spell the word red.
Good. You watch all those other ones. Those are great. You talk about Seacrest. You talk about that. Oh my goodness. You look back on that draft. That 2019 draft had some real freaking players. You think that Alex Turcotte went at 5th, and I thought at the time period, oh, that's a good selection. That's a steal at 5th overall. And you're like, oof. You think the Kings probably would want to redo that. That's for certain, based off the guys that are around them.
Who did we draft in 2019?
Simon the Man Holmstrom.
What a catastrophic blunder by our ever-aging general manager.
Could have had the 3 amigos for nothing at all. That's for certain. Tomasino has got 9 points in 14 games. The +2. Wow, isn't that crazy there for the Nashville Predators? 9 points in 14 games, +2. I wonder how long it would take Simon Holmstrom to put up 9 points in a season.
14 years.
But he's just so defensively strong. He's got 5 points in 41 games. Simon Holmstrom, such a superstar. I honestly, anybody who fucking talks positively about Simon Holmstrom, I'm just going to, no. Next time Phil's on the show, we're just going to have to put Phil, just destroy him. Just that's the entire show. Hey, what do you think about, 5 points in 41 games for a forward? Are you getting excited about that?
You can get that production from any fourth line player in the league.
Matt Martin puts up more than 5 points in 41 fucking games, and he fights and does a whole hell of a lot more than that pile of shit Holmstrom does.
Hudson Fasching.
There it is. You said the name right, too. Joseph C. But Goon, I don't know if I feel like Baba Booey on the show. I don't know. Joseph C. said, I'm gutted about Edwin Dias, by the way. They need to change the timing of the event. I know he got hurt during the celebration, but it's too early for these guys to go full throttle.
X, do you have any comments on that?
Well, let's talk about it first here, because I think it's a good segue because the NFL is Mac Daddy. We're going to be talking NFL. For those NFL fans, sit tight. There was something crazy that happened in the baseball world. The World Baseball Classic. Edwin Dias, I'd say probably the best reliever in baseball at this point, went ahead and tore his patella tendon, celebrating.
X, do you have any comments on that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think first off, how the hell do you injure yourself celebrating? And second off, they should not have this tournament right before the season, or if they do have it before the season and a key player for your team gets hurt, they should owe money to the club. I mean, you think about it, it's like, okay, we had a potential to make the playoffs. Well, he's out for the rest of the year now because of some silly tournament, and there goes our hopes. There goes all the money that we would have had for postseason wins, all that down the tube.
Yeah, I look at it this way. Isn't this typical Mets?
Yes.
Loser franchises bad things happen to them. They just do. That's what the first thing I said, man, this is typical Mets. And it was a non-contact injury, just jumping up and down. You see those are always the worst kind. You ever see a guy in the NFL running, all of a sudden, he falls down. It's a ligament.
Torn
That's what happened with Edwin Diaz, but we don't actually see the video. So I don't know exactly what happened, but
well, I know you don't think we had the video. I actually did get a different angle of the video, Grumpy. So I do want to show you the video of Edwin Diaz here. So we did happen to catch it. Very fortunate here.
From 43 yards out. It's got the accuracy. It's got the distance. Martin Gramatica.
Oh, Edwin Diaz.
And he hurt himself.
He jumped. Go! He blew his Achilles out, or he blew his ACL out.
Go!
You wonder why these guys are kickers or pitchers only? It's because they try and celebrate and do something athletic like that, and then automatically just tear their knees up.
Yes,
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for the Mets. But it's typical Mets, though, isn't it?
the Mets weren't winning anything anyway this year. Simple. They weren't fucking good enough. They didn't address the issue. They didn't address the issue they had in the lineup there in the batting order, right? I think they took a step back in the pitching rotation, and I think now with the closer out, okay, fantastic.
Here's my thing, though. You think they had an opportunity to make the postseason, right?
Yes, I definitely.
That's extra money that they lose out on, which is crucial.
Well, it's funny. Some Mets fans are taking this a little differently, right? I'm kind of pissed off about it, to be quite frank. And we talk a little bit about, we talk about the World Baseball Classic. I do think it should be held at a different point of time in the season. And I've seen people make the argument discussion, it's a meaningless tournament. I think borderline it is. But look at how excited the players are. You're going to call this meaningless? I don't know. You see, you talk about the hockey, where hockey plays for what do they call that, Grumpy? The tournament
they used to call the whatever
hockey something.
Yeah, whatever they used to they had it every once in a while, but not all the time because guys would wind up getting hurt in those tournaments. They would done them preseason also. Whatever was the world, I don't even know what the hell they called them. They used to have the
Hockey World Championships, the IFH, the International Ice Hockey Federation would have the World Championship is what it would be.
Okay,
but now they're held at the end of the year. They're always held at the end of the year. So if players, if you're not playing in the postseason, great, you can participate if you want to. You're just coming off the season. Your body's acclimated to playing at that level. Remember, John Tavares tore his ACL in that tournament.
No. He tore his ACL. I believe it was in the Olympics.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah. One
of those tournaments where it was great. He tore his ACL. He got injured not playing for our team. But some Mets fans are taking it a little differently. I'm kind of pissed off, but some Mets fans are, shockingly enough, they're okay about it. They're not too upset, Grumpy.
What happened, Frank?
Edwin Dias is never going to pitch again. And Max Scherzer's contemplating retiring because he's upset about the pitch clock.
Oh my God! I can't even read his name on the back of the shirt.
Frank usually gets a little upset from Barstool Sports.
That man has eaten a lot of aggression.
It's going to drum some up on right there.
And Blue Moon, that goddamn fucking bomber.
Well, the worst thing is he's also a Dolphins fan. He's a Devils fan too, but at least the Devils have played well. But maybe, God Almighty!
But you got this other guy. You got Stretch Armstrong behind him, trying to talk him down off the ledge.
Armstrong, Mr. Fantastic back there,
Gumby back there.
Yeah, Stretch Cunningham, talking him down off a ledge.
Max Scherzer's contemplating retirement.
I think he's out of breath.
God Almighty! I feel bad, Frank. Man, that's who I feel the worst for is Frank. Oh man, Frank.
Poor Frank.
Oh, that was when the news officially came out. Yeah, he tore his patella tendon. Oh,
I knew as soon as
he fell, he could not walk. I was like, holy!
I said he's out for the year. I was not at all. When I heard the news, I think it was late last night, maybe early this morning, I was like, all I did was see it. I'm like, he's done for the year. And it's typical Mets. That's a Mets thing that you don't see that happen to Yankee players, only the Mets.
The season's over before it freaking started. And that's exactly what happened here. Because, okay, the celebration, you had a 3-run lead entering the 9th inning. I get it that you closed the game off. You beat Dominican Republic, right? A big win for Puerto Rico. But I'm like, Jesus Christ. At here, I'm like, oh, maybe it's not that bad. He's kind of sitting up. He's moving around a bit. But when I see him stand up, I'm like, I thought his kneecap was dislocated based off of the way he was walking off or potentially trying to walk off. I was like, holy crap.
Oh, good luck. I hope Puerto Rico loses in that match, the next game, the World Baseball Classic.
Oh, my God. They're playing Japan, I think, right?
They should beat Japan. This isn't like the Little League where the Japan kids. Those Japan kids are like 25 years old when they play.
Their pitching staff averages the best ERA out of any of the teams. It's a 1.99.
Japan or Puerto Rico?
Japan.
Okay. Maybe they're still using overage kids like they used to do in the Little League World Series.
I am 12.
So here it is.
This guy's putting all his weight on him.
I don't know how the hell you tear your patella tendon celebrating, but I guess it can't happen. Oh, and he's down.
They all jumped on top of him.
Maybe that was their idea for the season.
Oh, look at they're all called immediately.
Oh, fuck. Everybody's gutted. Here it is. Just this right here.
That's problems. He's crying.
Oh, my God. When I was like,
no. Look at me. He can't even straighten out his legs. All crooked like.
Because he tore his patella tendon. Yeah, I was about to say, he's not coming back. I thought he dislocated his knee or something like that, too.
Looks like his patella tendon is hanging out the bottom. Doesn't look like his patella tendon is hanging out the bottom of his baseball pants.
No, it doesn't look like that. But honestly, like all kidding aside, I mean, it sucks for the Mets. Just fucking, it's the typical fucking Mets that was right. When I saw him walking like this, I'm like, his knee, his knee or his kneecap's pointing one direction, and his leg is not. So
he's just turning his leg. First off,
watch where you see his kneecap. Oof.
All I know is how many of these guys have bleach blonde hair?
What? Oh, that the friend who fucked him up?
It's probably the guy who kicked him in the side of the leg or something.
Who jumped on top of him.
Like, I feel bad.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. You just destroyed the Mets season, you son of a bitch. He's crying, obviously. He knew.
Isn't baseball different than any other sport? They bring a stretcher out in every other sport. Here, just a wheelchair.
That's all he needs.
Wheelchairs, you get him back there. Get him in the
wheelchair. TJ, I don't know if you saw the Great Britain jerseys. They're back in the action again. One of the pictures, the T fell off his jersey in the middle of the game.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. Obviously over.
Great Britain.
Oh God. Oh man, I tell you, it sucks.
Great Brienne. I don't know which T it lost.
It was the one at the top for great.
Drew L. Grumpy.
All the major QMJHL players are going to be all the next stars in the next season of Ice Wars.
Oh, remember Ice Wars, the fighting. Oh man.
Great.
Joseph C says, thanks, Frank. I'm sick of fucking Pittsburgh. Nick D said, press that like button, people. That's right. Thank you there, Nick, for a reminder. Frank says here, Joe was wondering that too. Did he really get hurt celebrating? Yeah, he did. Or maybe somebody jumped on him. I don't know. It was during the celebration. Or did he just, weaken it, playing in the celebration, finish it off? No. When you tear a patella tendon, if you partially tear it, you feel that thing. You're not jumping around, having a good time. That was just.
It's a tear job.
Yep. Goon said here, I watched the video today. I watched the video today of when Phil's Facts came on, and you guys are both white-collared and respect for the great man. I found it humorous, not humorless.
That's true.
Thank you, Goon. I thought it would be funny. There we go. Frank says here, and don't be surprised when the Jets don't get Karen Rodgers. Green Bay thinks that they're trading Rodgers from 10 years ago. We have one of the best general managers in football. The opposite of Lou Lamoriello. That's right. The asking price for Aaron Rodgers is freaking astronomical.
What
went on the Pat McAfee show? and oh, they're asking for too much. I want to go play for another team, but they're just making it too difficult.
All I have to say is I don't know what they're asking, but if you're asking anything more than a second-round draft pick for a 40-year-old quarterback who's due $60 million this year, you're insane.
The Packers indeed want a first-round pick and more in order to trade Aaron Rodgers. Multiple sources tell Mike Florio.
Never happening.
Focus.
It will never happen.
This was 11 hours ago, so this is what broke today. Now, Dov also told us a little bit of incorrect news earlier on. He's usually spot on. That's why I use him. But they said, right, the breaking news per Trey Wingo was, hey, Aaron Rodgers being traded to the Jets. It's done, is what he said. Well, Rodgers also said it's far from done when he went on the Pat McAfee show.
Well, he wants to play for the Jets. The Jets want him. Green Bay doesn't want him. This has to work. Now, they could technically hold him.
Maybe they're playing a game of chicken.
Yeah. You know what? If I'm the Jets, I'm going after Lamar Jackson. No problem. You don't want to do that? You want to play these shenanigans? We're going for Lamar Jackson.
Okay. We're moving on. We're not getting back to that.
I'm just saying the Met, people say, oh, the
Third
Jets
show in a row, baby.
He only wants to go to the Jets. The Jets have the hammer here. He's not going to play again for Green Bay. That's not going to happen. Now, they can hold him on the roster because they don't have to give him the roster bonus until the beginning of the season. His roster bonus is where he gets paid extra money. But they could do that. But I'll tell you what is it going to say about the other teams in the league whenever they want to deal with Green Bay? Nope. That's what they're going to say. Not happening. These guys, people forget, these guys are all like this. They are in lockstep. That's why they make so much damn money. That's why the TV contracts are worth so much. It's why they treat the players like indentured servants for the most part, because they stick together.
Indentured servants. I don't know.
Their contracts are not guaranteed. It's the only sport where contracts are not guaranteed, and it's the one with the highest attrition rate. They pride themselves on not giving out guaranteed money.
Okay.
I heard today
said
in the last 3 years, do you know what NFL team has paid the least actual money to players over the last 3 years?
Atlanta.
No. Probably a team that you're going to say, well, shit, I didn't believe that. The Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys was my next guess before you even said it. The Cowboys. Absolutely. Think about how many injuries, season-ending injuries for the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott being out. Right? You're not getting paid when you're out like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You get paid a certain amount, but not the full amount.
But they don't actually pay him the actual dollars. They get paid once the season starts. They have to pay him for that year.
Here's the thing: for most of these NFL stars, look at what Gronkowski. Gronk said he's like, "Yeah, I never touched any of my salary money, all endorsements, all this, all that." Here's the thing: with the NFL, you're the Mac Daddy. You have more chances for endorsements, more chances for commercials, more chances for any of that than in any other sport. And the amount of people that it gets spread amongst is much more than it is, like, say, the NBA, right? If you're not, I am LeBron James or Kevin Durant or this guy or that guy, you're not getting it in the NBA. With the NFL, there's a lot of people and a lot of different fan bases that are extremely enthusiastic about their team. So, they get paid good money. You're right. It's not all guaranteed money like some other sports, but they still get paid.
I'm not saying that, but if they have a chance to screw a player over, they will.
Sure.
They've always done that.
Just like if business has a chance to screw over an employee, they will. That's
Okay.
how it all works.
Okay.
Goon says here, oh, no, we missed that one. If the Islanders win tomorrow, the Grumpy prediction will come true of a 2-1 road trip. Would that make Grumpy a prophet or a poet?
I've always been a prophet, and I'm a poet, and everyone knows it.
Oh, fuck. I knew he was going there with that. Anyway,
Grumpy.
yeah, 2-1. That's what we said the Islanders had to go. Goon says, why are the Jets wasting their time on 1 year with Aaron Rodgers as opposed to giving a younger buck like Derek Carr or Lamar Jackson, or having gotten a younger buck like Derek Carr or Lamar Jackson? Oh, now I remember why. It's the dopey Jets.
Derek Carr, no. Lamar Jackson, yes. He's only 26. I mean, like I said, if I'm the Jets and they really want to play chicken, you know what? We're backing out. we're just going to sign Lamar Jackson. Sign him to a contract that we know that he'll sign. If they're clearing salary cap space to open up for the $60 million salary for Rodgers, they'll have the money to pay Jackson. Rob G says, hello, Islander fans. Good win last night. Need another one tomorrow night. Oh, yeah, the Penguins lost in regulation tonight. Woo!
Goon Grump.
Quick, TJ, pull up a photo of Grumpy with the stash as a young man so we can compare father and son. Son X, what are your feelings on mustaches?
I've never had a
Send
mustache.
that to me again.
What?
Go ahead, though, X.
Oh, I was just saying, I've never had a mustache myself. I think I grew a mustache one time and I left it on there for a day and I shaved it off immediately. I was not a fan of it.
I don't think the warden liked your cheesy mustache either.
No,
Well, X can't really grow a mustache. I can. Grumpy, you couldn't really grow a mustache either.
Oh, you're mistaken.
Come on. Come on. You don't grow a beard either. Come on, Grumpy.
You're stupid. That's the nicest way I can put it.
I've seen you try to grow a beard. It's not pretty, Grump.
What are you talking about? You're a fool.
X, are you going to stand by me or are you going to let this? Which side? Can Grumpy grow a good beard? Can he grow a mustache, you think, or no?
I don't know. The way you said I couldn't grow a mustache makes me want to make a really mean comment about you right now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What mean comment are you going to try to throw and hurl at me there, X?
Your mustache looks like you can't be within 500 feet of an elementary school.
Oh,
Good gracious.
pedo, pedo, pedo.
Look at this. If that doesn't tell you you've won the argument and that you've hurt Grumpy with this little he can't grow a mustache. He reverts to name calling. Literally jovial, such a jovial attack on my character.
I just
Will not be
piggybacked.
stood for here.
I just piggybacked off of X's comments. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. The chance of pedo is what X was doing. I forgot. Rob G
says, "Hey Frank, yes indeed, that was a big win for us last night. Need another one Saturday night. I thought we play Friday. Maybe we play Saturday. I don't know.
Yeah. Friday. Anthony R.
I'm afraid the Jets are going to pay too much now for Rodgers. They don't have a fallback, and Green Bay knows it. Green Bay is the one who's in trouble. You think they want to have Rodgers there with Jordan Love is going to be the starting quarterback?
Yeah.
You think it's a clown show there now? Wait till that happens. Like I said, they do have an alternative. It's called Lamar Jackson.
And speaking
right.
on, I was going to say, speaking on, you heard what Zach Wilson said, right?
Yeah, this is a while ago. He said, if they bring in somebody else, I'm going to make it a living hell for him every day of practice.
And if Aaron Rodgers ever calls him an MRFer, Wilson's going to say, that's true. How's your mom doing?
Thank you.
Frank says here, I remember how I kept saying I really felt Engvald was going to be good for us. He's such a smooth skater. Yeah.
He's just a guy.
Rob G saying, holy shit, Frank, he's doing great. I don't know. Frank also saying here, we got to crush them. Last place team. Talking about San Jose. Gungun says, TJ, who was the inspiration? Mercury, Reynolds, or Nystrom?
Do you even know who any of those people are?
Grumpy, I know who Nystrom is.
What about the other two?
Is Mercury Freddie Mercury?
Freddie Mercury?
You're talking about for the mustache.
Yes.
Who's the inspiration?
Who's Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds. Holy fuck, I did it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Okay.
It's embarrassing that it took you that long.
I did it. I just needed a little bit of time.
The guy who showed up at 5 o'clock news getting arrested.
Frank says here, screw Rodgers. I'm in a minority, but I want him, but I don't want him. Drew says here, the Giants getting Darren Waller for a 3rd round pick was the steal of free agent. The steal of free agency. Drew.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't mind that move. I don't think it's enough. They need a number 1 wide receiver. They need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback. They need a wide receiver. They need a solid and competent second tight end after this tight end will.
But it's a deep tight end draft. So they can
get injured.
It's a deep tight end draft. They have a lot of draft picks. They can get a decent tight end in the 2nd or 3rd round without a doubt.
What do you mean they have their quarterback? They have their quarterback.
Fuck. The Giants should trade up and draft a quarterback.
Your savior.
Ugh. My gosh.
Sarcasm off.
Yeah. Frank says here he's 1-4 in conference games, never good in the big games. A diva Karen. Nikki said
Absolutely.
here, hey TJ, just poking fun at you and your porn stash. You're still loved by all of us. Thanks there, Nick. Anthony Rizzi says here, do you think that the Islanders hold off Florida? They've got 2 games in hand, and I believe a 3-point lead on us. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close.
I think that's what I said last Saturday. I'm like, Florida is the team that's absolutely in the hunt because they have a breezy schedule the rest of the way, and they score.
Yep.
Their defense is not great. It doesn't matter if they get in the playoffs; they'll get knocked out in the first round,
just like the Islanders.
Just like the Islanders. But if you care about making the playoffs, it's going to be us, Pittsburgh, and them. I think those are the 3 teams.
Rob G said, Frank, how about Horvat starts to score some goals again? A guy was having a career year and a contract season, signs a big contract, no longer playing with Matt Barzal. He has 4 points in 9 games of that Matt Barzal, and he's a -2 over that time period.
I like Bo Horvat. I like everything he brings, but he's not a blue chip player for me. He's a little step below that. He's a red chip.
He's like a Brock Nelson. That's what he is. He's not a guy that, we paid $8.5 million for Brock Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, on 8 years.
I mean, I'm just saying they're not, blue chip talent. They're not. That's the problem with the Islanders. We don't have any blue chip talent. We have a lot of guys who are, red chip or green chip or whatever, the lesser, but not the highest echelon. That's the problem. We keep on moving guys out, moving guys in from our middle class. We have plenty of middle class guys. We need upper echelon. We need guys who live in the penthouse. That's what the Islanders need to be successful. You're not going to win with, not blue chip talent. You're just not going to. Not in sports nowadays.
The word of today, blue chip talent by the Grumpy Man. Yeah, Frank says Karen's 39 years old. I've done a lot of thinking, and I never thought I'd say it, but we should get Grumpy's guy, Brady, LOL. Him beating maybe Belichick would be sweet revenge.
He's not coming back. I don't think he'll play for the Jets.
Goon says here, what's more difficult to predict, if the Islanders make the playoffs or if a groundhog sees a shadow?
Well, I don't think the groundhog saw a shadow this year. Or maybe he did.
I feel like the groundhog's 50-50. I feel with somewhat of confidence the Islanders going to make the postseason. And as soon as I feel somewhat confident,
that's when we're
not making a postseason. Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Rob G said, I think the Senators lost tonight too.
Who cares? They're done.
Thomas Amadeo said the Rangers helping out the Islanders. Goon says, should Matt Martin be ashamed of himself for throwing a helmet the other night, a la NFL legend Kyle Turley?
No.
And Yari was in net tonight. Thanks there, Thomas. Frank says here, Rob, I monitored him closely, so I'm thinking, he hit a ton of posts talking about Horvat. He's still making the team better. My jersey is on the way from Isles Lab. And just like when I got Barzal's jersey, he's going to blow up.
Okay.
Tony G saying Son X is now Soy Boy until I can get a look at his bookshelf. I'm going to say Son X probably doesn't have a bookshelf.
I do not have a bookshelf.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I wouldn't have a bookshelf if it was not for the lovely Page either.
Yeah,
so.
TJ doesn't have a bookshelf either. That's Page's bookshelf.
No, these are my books, Grumpy, damn it. Come on now.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You don't think I'm reading stuff like Empire of Dirt by my favorite author.
Is that a farming book?
Philip Quantrell.
Is that a farming book? Nope.
Yeah, this is a farm book. Yes, it is. Learning how to improve my agriculture.
Goon says, am I the only schmuck who finds it humorous? What happened to Diaz? Only the sad sack Mets. Yeah, that was the first thing I thought.
Gallows, Gallows humor.
Typical Mets.
Yep. Here you go, Grumpy. Thomas Amadeo.
Waller is probably a third-tier tight end behind Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Mark Andrews is a legit target. I like the move. Without a doubt, he's in that grouping,
Mm-hmm.
without a doubt. He's an upper echelon guy.
Frank, yeah, Gungunda. The three amigos. Rob G said, we have to play the Capitals twice more and Buffalo once more. Yeah, the Capitals, I think we don't match up well against Capitals. Capitals beat us. They're 2-0 against us this year.
We're going to have to beat the Capitals and Buffalo because we're going to lose to Carolina, Toronto, Tampa twice. Those teams we're absolutely going to lose to.
Drew said here, TJ would be praising the Waller deal if his quarterback wasn't Daniel Jones. I don't know. If it depends on like your team, right? If we were a team, the Giants were a team that's like, wow, we are super close to winning a Super Bowl, but we need a tight end and we need one more piece. I could get behind the Waller deal. We're not close to that yet, though. And that's what I'm confused about. Anyway, Waller's a huge deal. And left myself, TJ, Baba Booey. Rob G said here, the Brock Nelson line with Palmieri Engvald will work a lot better once Parise's on it.
So who's sitting out? Palmieri or Engvall?
Shea said, just let the Panthers game. The first period was so much fun. Yep, Shea was at the game. I'm jealous.
That's right. Shea, always, man. Shea gets the best game of the year. She shows up.
It's the connections.
Yeah, she does.
She's connected. Tony Cheese said, Red Lister. I don't know what that means, but okay, Tony Cheese.
I think that was from Beat.
What was that?
I think it was from Beat, where he goes, spell the word red. And he goes,
LSTER.
Yeah. That's what it's for. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, Tony Cheese. Drew, you could tell he's watched that clip a few times to know exactly how he misspells that word. Just a few times.
Yep.
I wonder if Tony Cheese, when his child's gonna be born, he's gonna go ahead and show him those type of videos. Tony Cheese seems like one of those type of guys. Drew L says here, Phil's been quiet since Tomasino's been performing. Yeah, he was hitting me up in the DM saying, "Oh yeah, well, he's performing better than Tomasino and McMichael, who aren't even in the NHL." And now he's quiet as a church mouse. And now he's like, "Well, he's performing better than McMichael." I said, "Give McMichael a year or two, and you're gonna be singing a different tune." This motherfucker. Holmstrom has 5 points in 41 games. He's averaging a point every freaking 10 games just about. He's fucking garbage.
He's on a 10-point scoring a season.
That's fucking awful. That's awful. Even if your fourth line, Matt Martin, put up 10 points in the season, you'd be like, okay, you're forward. You know what? We don't need you. 10 points a year. He plays the first line on the power play. I'm ready to go at these freaking Holmstrom supporters.
Matt Martin, just to let you know, Matt Martin has 19 points this year.
Fourth liner going to be, my God.
Pierre Engvall, 4 points in 6 games.
With the Islanders already.
Robin Salo, 4 points in 11 games. Ross Johnson, 2 points in 16 games. Atu Ratu, 2 points in 12. Koivula, 2 and 8. Sorry. Horvat, 9 and 18. Clutterbuck, 8 and 37. That's the company you're in. Fashing, 12 and 37.
Yeah. Fashing's killing. Blow him out of the water. Shay said, I didn't get anything. See, I don't have connections. I don't know. She might be being tricky, mischievous here. Yes. Drew L said, Ed Luz
Dias back in full swing again, robbing the Mets of their money. You know the worst thing about this? We don't get to hear the Timmy Trumpet song.
An entire season without Timmy Trumpet.
We should have that.
Dance. I remember when that came onto the scene last year. It was like, it was so much fun.
It was
big guy in the stands, and big guy in City Field. Boom.
Yeah, it's Narco by Timmy Trumpet.
Yep.
Why haven't you now, X? I know you have that on your list. Why didn't you just automatically play it?
Grumpy, we got comments to run through, and I want to still talk NFL. We haven't touched any NFL yet, Grumpy, so we're trying to stay on schedule, but I won't want to just read all the comments at 2 hours and 45 minutes in the show.
Well, we did talk about Darren Waller and Aaron Rodgers, so we have, and Lamar Jackson. So
we did. Trust me, Lamar Jackson was not on my list to talk about, Grumpy, today, but you find a way to talk about him every game show.
Brady's gone. We got to change it up. He's got to change it to Lamar.
Grumpy, do I need to get you Lamar Jack? Hold on, Grumpy. That guy who does the Baltimore Ravens videos, are you about to start following because you're a huge Lamar Jackson fan now?
You know something? people, you might not believe this. I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan, but he's a better quarterback than any other options there are.
You're a closeted Lamar Jackson fan. That's fine.
Not.
He's requesting a Lamar Jackson jersey for his birthday.
Number 8.
Who is that guy who does those videos about
I
the
don't remember what his name is. I know exactly what you're talking about, though. He has like the jerseys up on a little rack in his room, in his parents' attic, and he jumps around and screams and smacks his computer chair.
He's embarrassing. He looks a little bit like UX when you're playing the videos.
Oh, wow. I had your back earlier when she didn't want to make fun of you about the not being able to grow a beard, and this is how you treat me. This is the respect I get.
Sorry.
Look at that. X. He said, sorry.
Sorry, bus is pulled out. Ran me right over.
Jesus Christ.
Goon says, I can't believe Grumpy can't appreciate the iconic Beetlejuice. TJ, please pull up a Beetle clip, or I'd like to see if Grumpy can finally be tickled pink.
All right, you read the next comment. I'll pull up the Beetlejuice.
Goon says, Diaz equals Testaverde. Very true. Like the Jets, they were expected to, they made it to a couple of Eastern American Conference finals. And the next year he gets hurt, I think the first couple of plays of the game. And that's the end of the Jets season.
Shay Grumpy.
Pizzetta has the weirdest pregame routine on the bench before warmups.
I did see that. He was like moving side to side. It was an odd one there.
Is he a goalie? Is he a goalie?
Yes.
Those goalies are kind of whack.
D-Cut says, do, 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 do. Tommy Shredder says, Sedex, reveal yourself. Grumpy, where is the mask?
I just have to order the mask. I'm just going to get him a mask. It's not going to have the X on it.
Oh, get him on the X on it. I'm sure he's going to be sweating in a mask. I'm just assuming those are not like.
Well, I'm absolutely going to sweat my ass off in that thing.
The battle of wits with
from the
Gary,
whack pack. The whack pack.
Yes, whack pack. Oh gosh,
this is for you. What number comes between 2 and 4? Beetlejuice.
25. Wait a minute, Beetlejuice. I want you to think about it.
Think about it. Don't blurt out your answer. What number comes between 2 and 4?
2 and 4.
I love the music that started playing in the background.
Start from 1.
And the best is they would throw the next. Here we go. We're gonna start throwing calculations up here pretty soon.
I like Beetlejuice though. He's a good guy. His sister died, and he's like, your sister died. He's like, yeah, she died. I'm like, oh
I love this. Look at the motor neurons firing in Beetlejuice's brain.
24.
The science fiction music. That like 1970s, electro music. Look, his eyes shifted. He's counting.
I think he's gonna get this one right. I've never seen this video, but I think Beetlejuice gonna get this
I
one.
think I saw a disconnection in that DNA there.
The periodic table of elements.
It will help him get to his counting skills.
It will.
I just like how he blurred out 25.
Someone say it's, what is it? He said between 2 and 4 is our question.
Yes.
Yep.
What's the number between?
The answer is lithium.
Boron.
Boron's 5.
I'm sorry.
Periodic table.
He's gonna use the Pythagorean theorem.
What's he gonna say? Here it comes.
36.
All right. Is that your final answer?
36.
36 is your final answer?
Yeah, 36.
Very close, but that's not it. Let's go to Gary the retard. What number between 2 and 4?
7.
Is that your final answer? You both got it wrong.
Now we got a game.
Well, listen to this. 1, 2.
That's when Jackie Martling was still on the show.
Oh man. Okay. Andrew L said, "Oh yeah, Frank the Tank is the GOAT." Yeah, I like Frank there, the Mets fan. He does just all those little freakouts. Frank says here, yeah, I was at the Testaverde game. Locked my keys in the car, running. Cut my lip up. A slightly chipped Heineken bottle. It was a cursed day.
That bad news comes in threes, right?
Yeah. My little brownie said, Grumpy, what were TJ and X's weight class at birth? Something tells me the warden may have suffered a bit through delivery.
Well, with TJ, she did. TJ, you know how fucked up he is. He was upside down. He had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. He was screwing up from a young age. He really was.
What is it? What was our weight class?
You were like 100 pounds.
No, TJ was not 100 pounds.
Probably 103.
TJ was, they were both the same length, 21 or 21 and a half inches long. TJ was 8 pounds, 13 ounces. X was 8 pounds, 11 ounces. But X, he shot out like a bullet. Pew! He had he had a much thinner, a smaller head than TJ. That cannonball was tough to pass.
Andrew L said, there is a plethora of videos, a grumpy must see of Frank. Oh, I'm sure. Slowly. Drew L said, meanwhile, the Yankees need your hearing. Meanwhile,
all the Yankees need your hearing are that the Martian and Volpe deserve to be up with the Yankees. That's what everyone's saying.
Okay.
Those two guys need to play.
And Drew L. Grumpy.
I mean, grumpy athletes always seem to get hurt in the weirdest of situations. I mean, Zach Wilson hurt his pelvis last offseason banging all those milfs.
That's true. That's one that he's got to have a clause now.
Well, he was picking them up. You know, a lot of times he was picking them up, and some of these ladies are a little bit hefty. So, I mean, it's like doing damn deadlifts, and, you know, you could injure yourself in a hurry with that.
Shay said,
I
wish Diaz wasn't hurt, but Robertson and Otavio are very capable at closing.
Ottavino. No, they're not. David Robinson at this point in time is not, and Ottavino has never been. No.
Andrew L. Crump.
The guy crying is his brother, who's actually pretty solid, and a lot of Mets fans are saying to trade for him.
Did not realize it was his brother.
I'm in Florida for spring training in World Baseball Classic, but had to sprinkle in some hockey, said Shay.
She's got to have her fingers on the pulse of the sporting community.
Shoot, I'll be there in Florida next Friday, though. Next Friday through Tuesday for a birthday party. Hopefully that's going to be fun.
It's a long-time party.
Mm-hmm. Drew L. Grumpy.
I think Edwin Dias got hurt celebrating because hips don't lie.
Oh, God.
Came on.
Oh, there it is. He tried to dance like Grumpy, just couldn't keep up. Shay said, oh, Grumpy, the fans love the video of you dancing. The hips don't lie. Some even agreed about you being general manager.
There you go.
There it is. That's right. I forgot to tell you that. Andrew L. said, regardless of the Jets get Rodgers or not, I think the Lazard signing was a very good pickup.
I think the only reason he was signed was because Aaron Rodgers is going there. Otherwise, I don't think they have any interest in him. They already had Corey Davis on the team and Mims, and now one of those guys has to go. Frank Kaplan says, WBC needs to be all non-Major League Baseball players. I agree. Diaz's career is over. He will have issues continuously for the rest of his career. We don't know that, but
when you tear a patella tendon, because I know guys who have, it takes a long time first off to come back, and you get that tendonitis in that patella tendon, and it fucks with you for a while. I mean, as a pitcher, that's not going to be fun to deal with. I assume that won't. You know how some closers pitch until, like, you know, how long did Mariano pitch for? Until his 40s, early 40s?
Yeah, I think, something like that.
Late 30s, early 40s. I don't foresee that being a possibility with Diaz now with that type of injury.
Okay. Well, he's in his 30s now, isn't he?
No, Diaz is young.
I thought he was like 30.
Oh, he's 28. When he was originally traded, he just turned 20, or he's going to turn 29 here coming up soon. So I remember when he was originally traded, the Mets got him. He played like absolute shit his first year with the Mets, and then he played well the next year. And then
it was the song. It was all about the song. Why has someone not pulled the song up yet?
We're not pulling the song up, Grumpy. D-Cut says, fire TJ, hire D-Cut.
Play it low in the background when we're talking about Diaz. That's all you got to do.
Frank K. Grumpy.
Horvat is so lost without Barzell. 100% agree. That contract is going to look real bad much sooner rather than later.
Yep.
I thought it was an overpay. I mean, we're not going to rehash that. It's all water on the bridge now. You know, when Lamoriello goes, then we'll do the laundry list of his failures.
Here you go, Grumpy, for you.
Hold on, X, stop that, X. Hold on.
Grumpy wanted it.
X, stop that. Turn it off. X, turn your crap off, please. Thank you. Here you go. Here you go.
You took Grump out. You took the Willies.
Use my southern slang. I speak it every day. I'm trying to get it poppin' each and every way. It's one nation. Under goons, my goons are stripping all these cats down here. They're under rules.
I think we need to make a compilation of Grumpy's.
You have enough of that, Grumpy?
I love that song. It's a great song. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, goodness.
We need a compilation of Grumpy's best dances.
There you go, Frank Grumpy.
Man, if the Islanders had Barzell and Wally, they could do serious damage. Oh, and keep Bailey benched. Abruptly, from Frank says, abruptly fired TJ, hire D-cut. Wow.
Okay. Malabrani says, hey, Frank, ready for green beers tomorrow. That's right. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
I'm about to start nagging Grumpy to watch Formula One. Grumpy, did you watch it this weekend?
Well, no, I think it was next Sunday.
Okay, next Sunday, Grumpy.
Right?
That's on you.
But this Sunday?
Yeah.
Drew L says, Cowboys finally cut Ezekiel Elliott. Finally, about time. Old man Jerry should have cut him about 3 years ago. Well,
They never should have
signed him.
That's right. They never should have given the contract extension. Is there any team that you think will take a flyer on him? I can think of maybe one. Maybe one.
I would have said the Panthers if they didn't sign Miles Sanders.
No.
Okay. They're not going to pay. Okay, they're going to give him a new contract right when he's released like that. They're not going to say, "Hey, we're going to take your existing contract."
Who do you think takes a risk on him, Grumpy?
Who are you saying?
The
TJ?
Patriots.
Patriots. That's a no. What about UX?
I was going to say maybe the Saints, just because Alvin
They already
Kamara.
got Jamal. They just signed Jamal Williams.
That's right. They did from Detroit. I forgot about that.
Are you about to say maybe the Broncos?
Chiefs.
Why the Pacheco kid's been dominating for them?
But
This is another veteran there to have.
He's a guy goal line stuff. Pacheco is a smaller back. I think that's the only play. And here's the thing: it's for vet minimum. I think he's totally cashed. I don't think he's got anything left.
Really?
Nothing. I think he's got nothing left.
Wow.
And here's the thing: it's going to be vet minimum. He's not going to make any money. It's just not the same guy anymore. He's just not.
I didn't know that Zeke was. You think Zeke's done?
I think he's totally done. Totally done.
If we're talking about let's talk about a piece of toast. How burnt do you think that toast is, Grumpy?
I think the toast was cooked too long in the toaster 3 days ago. Now it's sitting out and it's got mold on it. So TJ, just about ready for you to eat.
Okay, there I'm ready. He's only 27 years old. He's got a lot of hard miles ridden on him in college and in the NFL early years.
Look at how many carries.
Yeah. Leading league carries, 300 plus carries, three of his first 4 years.
Yeah. But he can still punch it in, so that's why I say maybe the Chiefs roll the dice on a vet minimum deal, give him a chance to win a Super Bowl ring, whatever. I can't think of any other team where he fits what they do. Aging, totally cashed running back.
A team that maybe needs, right? Dalvin Cook is supposed to be maybe on the move, right? He requested a trade, I think. Or I don't know. That's maybe still developing. But you look at those first few years with Zeke, 108 yards a game, 98 yards a game, 95 yards a game, then 85, 65. And they re-signed him. I think it was after 2020. I'm like, yikes, he's going downhill, guys. Then 58 yards. It's just not great.
And Tony Pollard's just a better all-around back than he is. That's why they franchised him and let him go.
Yep.
Smart move. Had to let him go.
Frank K. Grumpy.
Fashing is exciting. I see why Engvall has 15 goals. He can bring it.
Then Shea Grumpy.
But the Panthers win tonight. The Islanders don't have their own destiny in their hands anymore. There's still a long way to go yet, and it's going to come down to, again, it's just a whole pile of garbage from Pittsburgh, the Islanders, Florida, Washington, Buffalo. And what I mean a pile of garbage is you never know what they're going to do from one game to the next. They lose to teams they should beat. They beat teams they should lose to. And it's like, who gets hot? Who gets hot? There's only 3 teams left. Oh my gosh, look at this guy.
Yep, here's the Great Britain. Yes.
Okay, well, real quickly, Andrew L said, "Come on, Sunex, make the mean comment. We need the Sunex, and Grumpy has been hyping all year long." But yes, this is what happened. It's not just one T. It looks like multiple T's. Or I'm sorry, it's just the one T got screwed up.
Okay,
his unit.
It did.
This jersey is a little
Eventually.
too tight.
It looks like these jerseys were put
Okay,
together
wiped it
about
off.
Just wiped it
2
off.
minutes before the game.
My God, it is the cloth looks like it's like shitty fabric from like 08 or 09 that you'd wear on like a travel baseball team.
It
That's
literally
exactly
looks like it. No, it looks like jersey you would get in like machine pitch
it looks awful.
or little league.
I think
The players care so much about this.
I think
the nations can't even go ahead and assemble a damn jersey that fits and that works for the guys. Ugh.
I think Great Britain is actually only like Post-it notes that they just stick to the jersey before the games.
Kind of looked like that. Maybe just like they had like a heat press and said, "Here we go."
It's literally what it was. They had a heat press.
Drew says here, "Geez, Sunex, you didn't have to just murder TJ there. Now you're gonna make him shave."
No.
I didn't listen to what he says or anybody really for that
Oh,
matter.
Geppetto.
Frank says here, "I'm a big Heineken guy, so I always say, the can is green. I sort of wanted, green Islanders jersey too, but my Horvat alternate is coming in. I'll wear a Jets jersey."
There you go.
And I'm on a few Jets podcasts, and a lot of the Green Bay fans are saying that the general manager is a total moron, according to them. Oh gosh. And have you guys watched Engvall? He's got 3 goals in 3 games, and he got an assist yesterday too. He is a lot more than another guy. You'll see.
I disagree.
Nope.
One thing I noticed. I know it's not the Islanders Never Say Die podcast.
Yeah, so let's keep it there to minimum. Then Grumpy, don't go.
Well, I know. All I'm going to say is what you're seeing now is a return to the Barry Trotz days that we can beat the really crappy teams, but we stand no chance against the good teams. That's what I think you're seeing now.
Yep. Ooh. Tony Chi said Dirty Sanchez was TJ's inspiration. Oh gosh. So this one, Grumpy, we got a black screen. I wonder what this can be, Grumpy.
This is probably trouble.
This is probably going to be, maybe the greatest, maybe your favorite person of all time. Grumpy, look, it's your favorite guy, the Ravens guy. Ravens man, I hoopin', or whatever the hell his name is. TJ after Shane traded for Waller. I was just like, why? I wasn't that upset, but I was like, why? Ugh.
I don't have a problem with it. It's a 3rd round pick. It's a 3rd round pick.
God almighty. Tony Cheese just sent us something. Christ almighty. I'll let you watch. Look at this comparison. God almighty.
Oh boy.
Did it take you a while to realize what was going on there, Grumpin X?
Although he does have more hair than you.
Oh shit, he does. Not much. Looking, it's very, very similar.
He grows a way better mustache than you do as well.
Bullshit.
Well, I think here's the thing.
You can't grow a mustache here. He's got to like part it to the sides because this doesn't grow in full stop.
Here's the thing. TJ's is a little bit lighter color. I think that's the
mine's
difference.
much thicker and much healthier, but his is like it's just darker. That's why it's easier to see.
Do we have to worry about you and Joyce?
No, is this from
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. What's his character's name again?
shit. What was
Loser with the mustache, I think his name is.
I can't remember his name.
I was locked up in the Russian prison.
Wait,
That's all.
Hopper. That's it. It says it on his little
Hopper.
bit.
That's right. Hopper.
I'm going to stick with loser with the mustache.
Loser with the mustache. There we go.
Here you go again. Brock Nelson is a stud. They'll have 35 to 38 goals again. Oh my God. Frank, he's not going to score that many goals. Frank K said, Frank or Nelson is proving he's a lot better than Horvat. If you say no, then you're not watching carefully. I think Nelson, I love Nelson. Yeah. One thing too, I've noticed Horvat never goes into the corners and never fights for the puck. He never throws the body in the corners like that.
Neither does Brock Nelson.
Okay.
Neither does Brock Nelson.
Frank said, I intentionally spelled it Beledic, TJ. Oh, instead of Belichick. Drew L said here, the Islanders should hang up a Jari jersey in the Raptors. He's an Islander legend.
Absolutely.
Got here a comment from D-Cut saying 7-3 without Ballerina. That's 112-point pace.
Weren't they 6-1-1 at some time? Period of time?
Notice they started to lose a few games since then. But it's almost like the larger sample size you get, the more accurate it becomes. It's crazy, isn't it? D-Cut said, why would a man who can't read have a bookcase?
Very true. It's baffling to me as well.
One of the many wonders of the world. Frank C said here, I was hoping Wallstrom would be the guy who can net you 40 goals. The jury is still out. A huge step back this year due to this injury. Yeah.
I think we can agree to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see here. Frank said, I was at the Nets game. They beat themselves tonight. Sacramento was not impressive at all.
You know what? Sports just used to be better years ago. Just was.
Frank said, read closely, TJ. He said, without Parise, without. Okay. And Tony Chi said, my baby boy will be a degenerate just like me.
You must be so proud. You must be so proud,
Tony Chi is going to be raising him right there. I do want to talk a little bit NFL. I think we're somewhat caught up on comments.
All right.
So we're going to talk a little NFL. Well, actually, you know what? Let's talk some European football. Arsenal today got freaking booted from Europa League.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. They lost in penalty kicks. Absolutely, they did. They gave up a goal from freaking almost like the dot, almost like halfway. They gave up a goal from like midfield. And Jesus Christ, Ramsdale was just doing who the hell knows what. Arsenal wound up losing in PKs, and they did not advance.
I thought it said they advanced on aggregate.
Nope.
Okay.
Aggregate. So they took away the home goals, away goals stuff. But so it's just total goals scored. They wound up losing 8-6 in PKs.
Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Went a long way.
Yep. So, yikes.
Well,
Arsenal eliminated. I mean, talk a little about that, Grump and X. That Arsenal is number one team right now in the Premier League. They're having a fantastic season, and they lose. I think it's to Sporting.
Yeah, it was Sporting. Yep. Yeah, I think Arsenal's going to manage to find a way to pull an Arsenal and lose Premier League as well to Man City. But no, I mean, their team's good. Just a blunder by the keep. Why are you so far out of the net?
True.
Couldn't tell you. I mean, it's a big mistake, nonetheless. But let's talk a little bit more football action, yeah, because they wound up getting beat, on penalty kicks, 8-4. I'm sorry, 8-6. Now Feyenoord hung up 7 goals on Shakhtar Donetsk today. That was interesting to watch. Earlier this week, right? Bayern Munich, was that this week or last week? Bayern Munich PSG.
That was last week.
Oh, we can't talk about this. Man City beat RP Leipzig, and Erling Haaland was about to set the record for most goals scored in a knockout round, and Pep Guardiola subbed him off in the 57th minute to protect him.
You know why he did that? Yep. Because Messi's his boy.
Yep.
That's why.
He subbed him off in the 57th or the 63rd minute to protect little Messi's oh, it's going to help him. I can't remember the exact bullshit that he said, but
it's going to help drive him.
It's going to help motivate him to score more and to be a more successful player.
You know what it would do for me? It's I have a release clause at the end of the year. I'm going to Real Madrid.
I think you're 100% right. That's exactly what he's going to do. Because he even came out and he said in the post game interview, he's like, "Yeah, I don't know why he took me off." He said he told me it was to like make it so I would play better and give me more motivation. But he's like, "Yeah, I don't understand why he took me off when I had an opportunity to beat this record."
How many? What did he score? 5 goals.
He scored 5 goals.
5 goals.
He's like, yeah, make me play better. I scored 5 goals in a Champions League game in 2/3 of the game, and you took me off.
Pep said this. Erling is very, very young, and this has to be an extra reason to beat Leo's record one day. This has to be extra motivation to beat his record one day.
I could have beat it today.
Do you remember? Hey, let me ask you this. When Leo was playing, did Pep ever used to take him off when he was getting close to records? Hey, Leo, you're getting close to a record right there. We're going to take you off the pitch to help motivate you. Hey, Suarez. Hey, guys, we're going to take you off the pitch to help motivate you. What a load of shit. What a crock of shit to protect a record from one of his little golden boys. You're right. If I'm Holland, I'm like, fuck you, buddy. Stick it where the sun don't shine, Pep.
If I'm Real Madrid,
non-finishing fuck.
If I'm Real Madrid, my conversation with Holland is, yeah, don't worry. We won't be taking you off to protect Lionel Messi's records. We're going to keep you out there to break every record possible.
I think he's going to Real Madrid this summer.
I think fuck. I like you talk about those little things like that. That maybe like off when he left the field, he kind of had like a grimace on his face. But I'm like, that's one of those things that kind of eat at you at night. We're like, why the fuck? Because guess what? It's not like nobody's gonna say like, why the fuck did he sub you off when you had a chance to set a record for most goals ever scored in a Champions League knockout? Like, you guys are up, you're healthy. I mean, like, why did he substitute you off?
Yeah, they want to talk about best interest of the players. That right there is not. He has an opportunity to beat a record and you take him off beforehand. That's not in the best interest of the player. What, for motivation?
I don't know how much more motivated he can be.
He's the top goal scorer in the Premier League.
They subbed on Phil Foden. They subbed off Grealish. They subbed on Rio Maris. They subbed off Gundogan. They said, here you go, Holland. Holland, you're coming off. They're going to put on – we're taking off John Stones and Rodri as well. And we'll put some other backups in. They didn't sub off guys like Kevin De Bruyne, right? Whoa, it wasn't like we're subbing off the best players on the team. De Bruyne kept playing.
I wouldn't forget that.
Ruben Dias.
Yeah. Ruben Dias. Yeah, I was about to say, Silva didn't get subbed off. Ake didn't get subbed off.
It doesn't matter. You only have 5 subs in a game, so you can only do 5 subs.
I'm just saying, right? The players.
Well, you think you want to protect Kev De Bruyne number one? He's the number one guy in their midfield. Honestly, he's probably the number one guy on their team.
I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing.
De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the world every year.
Yeah, De Bruyne's fantastic, man. I like Holland too, but Holland's a goal poacher, and I cannot believe they subbed him off. Oh, to give him extra motivation. Yeah, my point though is you don't think that that's not going to like kind of be in the back of his mind, like why the fuck was I subbed off when I was about to break a record?
It will be when he comes negotiation time with Real Madrid. It will
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's a good way to get a guy to leave.
That's what I think. That's what I'd like. Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, we're not going to go ahead and hold you back at all to protect records. You're young in the prime of your career. You're going to be healthier now. You're the healthiest now you're ever going to be in your career. This is the only time that you have the ability to put those miles on your body. We're not going to hold you back from doing that.
You only have so many nights to break a record like that.
Yep. How often do you say, hey, I could score 6 goals in a Champions League round? I've got 5 right now, and I've got, did he score 5 goals that game?
5 goals that game.
He was subbed off in the 67th minute.
63rd.
Oh, 63rd.
63rd. Yeah. I scored 5 goals. I'm freaking on fire tonight.
He would have scored another goal.
Probably, yes.
Do you think, let's say Pep Guardiola was a coach of Cristiano Ronaldo, and he wanted him to come off the pitch, not to break a record of Leo Messi. What do you think would have happened?
Cristiano would have thrown a fit.
He wouldn't have left the pit. No. He's like, I'm not getting off. Nope.
He would have thrown an absolute fit.
He said, we'll take a penalty. We'll take a card. I'm not leaving.
Oh.
I'd be like, they're going to have to double yellow me and give me a red to get me off the field. I'm not getting off.
Yeah, he would not shake a hand. He would walk off, and there would definitely be issues, as there should be. Right, I think there are issues. Maybe because the way he didn't act on the pitch made it look like there's fucking issues with that. That's awful. That's hideous. Frank C said Engvald is looking better. Hopefully he can be consistent. Doubtful. Drew L said, sounds like a good trade. Sounds like a good time to trade Matty Martz, TJ. Yeah, they should have traded him at the deadline or this offseason. Get rid of his ass. D-Cut says, TJ is trying to take the attention off of his ever-receding hairline by growing a mustache.
Woo!
Maybe he's going to transfer his mustache hairs to the top of his head.
I'm slowly taking them. I'm plucking them one by one and drilling them in my skull.
I thought maybe you would just comb it over, do a little comb over with it.
There it is. Shay said here, I think Salo should have played yesterday. Look at what he did last time we played the Ducks. He had 2 goals.
Yeah, they're not playing.
He's done. He'll never have a chance with the Islanders. Sorry. It's unfortunate too because maybe it could have worked out. It was a great fit, though he doesn't hit. The Detroit game, I was 3 rows back. Seeing Engvald close, you could see he's got great skating ability. Drew L said, by the way, TJ, we're only about an hour and a half in. You're about 20 minutes late, remember?
Oh,
look at this shit. Andrew L said here, Lamar Jackson is the new hero of the people. There it is.
100% no.
It is Grumpy's hero of the people. He loves him.
Absolutely.
Like last year was Baker Mayfield. If Brady didn't pay, Grumpy would be like, Baker's God. Now he's on Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm just saying Lamar Jackson is the best available quarterback out there. That's all I'm saying. And teams that are not going after him are foolish. That's all I'm saying. And the Jets, if they can't get Rodgers, or if Green Bay really wants to play hardball, yeah, okay, we're just going to say no. Lamar, let's call your agent. Let's get this deal done. We've cleared the money for Rodgers. He wants it. They won't trade him to us. We're going to give it to you. You see how quick Green Bay's like, oh shit. What are they going to do? They'll pull a Lamarillo. Yeah, we'll give you picks to take Rodgers. They don't want him on the team.
Look at this now. Odell Beckham Jr. is seeking $15 to $20 million a year contract. Obviously, likely it's a part of negotiations, but that's the current stance. Odell Beckham Jr., after the issues he had off the field this last year, and there were issues, right or wrong, but also, in a situation where he just came off injury, seeking $15 to $20 million. Grump or X, what's your thoughts, guys?
X?
My thing is, I still think I think he might still have something left in the tank. I wouldn't mind seeing him go to the Panthers. If I'm being honest, the Panthers have nobody to throw the ball to. And that would at least give somebody for that team. But do you not agree, TJ?
He's asking for way too much. The reason I'm bringing this up is he's asking price is fucking absurd. He's going to have to be a 1 year prove. In my opinion, he's a 1 year prove it deal type of guy. You just tore your leg up 2 years ago. What?
Well, I agree with that.
1 year, $7 million. That's my offer for him.
I'd give him maybe 1 year, 10.
I'm not giving him 10. He hasn't played in a year and a half.
No,
and before then, he wasn't that good.
I thought he got hurt in the Super Bowl. So
he did get hurt in the Super Bowl. He did.
So he missed a year. He missed a year.
So it's going to be a year and a half since he's played. Right?
Yeah. He played last time he played with Super Bowl. He missed all of last year, and he's ready to go this year. So a season. He missed a season.
I will say he was tearing it up in that Super Bowl game until he got injured.
Yes, he was. I like Odell Beckham Jr. I think on the right situation, we didn't have Baker Mayfield throwing the ball. It's different, Grump. Wouldn't you say?
I'd kick the tires on him, but for no more than $7 million for 1 year. That's it. He's going to have no market if he's asking for 15 to 20.
Can we get an update? Did anybody know the scores updates of basketball? College basketball
game is very close.
Houston headed down to the wire. What's the score there, X?
It's 41-36. It was tied, and
how much time?
12 minutes, 51 seconds left. I think Houston's going to take a bigger lead now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I root for as many. I think Houston. Remember, as we said, Houston's a team. Watch out for Houston early exit. I don't think they lose to the 16th seed, but early exit potential all over Houston.
They've been missing a lot of shots today. I mean, the other team, Northern Kentucky, has been missing just as many.
I think, were they the team with a losing record? That one, I can't remember. Northern Kentucky, you said?
Northern Kentucky, whatever. Yeah. The North is their team, their mascot. Oh, this kid missed a 3 for Houston.
Northern Kentucky. Now they're 22-12. I'm sorry. But
They're not a great team though.
Yeah, for mid-major team, that's a bad record. I think Engvald is a slight upgrade over Pavilier. Oh, Frank.
No.
No way. Look at Pavilier's numbers for Vancouver. The guy's on over a point a game stretch playing for a bad team. Engvald's playing on the first. I think Engvald's playing. I mean, Pavilier playing on the first line too, but Engvald's he's had like a few games where he's had success.
Yeah, he's a bottom six guy. I don't know why we continue to get excited over bottom six guys. They're eminently replaceable. You can easily replace any of those bottom six guys, any of them, with just a new set of bottom six guys. We need top six players.
And I'm sorry, Pavilier is not on a point game pace. He's got 17 games played, 7 goals, 7 assists. He's got 14 points with a 0 plus minus. 17 games played, 14 points. He had 20 points for us in 49 games. Obviously, just needed a change of scenery.
Yep.
I'd take Pavilier on the Vancouver Canucks over Engvald on the Islanders. Yep. Shay said here, the only thing I got was a T-shirt from the team store, and I paid for. Holy shit! Shay got it for free. She got the T-shirt from the team store, got it for free with her hookup.
Although
also had the discount since her sister worked for the Panthers. She hit it with a store discount comp. She probably got the tickets. So we'll slide the tickets to you. She probably got to meet the players in the locker room afterwards. Her sister's like, hey, let me show you around here. Yeah.
She found some flight tickets on the ground to Florida for free.
Holy shit. Shay's connected. Shay is connected.
Yes.
He could grumpy Andrew L. Oh,
he's not a goalie.
Oh.
He's not a goalie.
He's not a goalie. Well, Pavilier had years. I read Engvald was buried on the Leafs. He's young. He's still developing. So he's 28 years old.
He's older than Pavilier. He's not as good as Pavilier. The zero physical presence. I mean, he's okay for a bottom six guy. That's what he is.
DK Crump.
Oh, the Martian was just sent down about 15 minutes ago. Well, if he's not going to play every day, I don't know. Wouldn't you try to move Stanton?
Tommy Shredder. Hold on. You want to move? You want to move? Shit. We got to do a fantasy baseball league.
No
I
kidding.
just remember that now. I got to create one of them. You know, the crazy thing was before March Madness today, I forgot that it started today, the NCAA tournament. Totally forgot about it. Just been crazy.
Yeah, I didn't end up making a bracket. I should have.
It's the first year, and I want to say over a decade I didn't make a bracket. Kind of feels shitty, but I'm like, crap. Okay.
Too busy growing a mustache.
That's it.
Tommy Shredder says, is it worth the Islanders fans sweating these last 14 games, or is Florida really going to knock us out of this thing? I think it's going to be close. They can score. Their defense isn't very good, but they'll put the puck in the net. They own us.
I've prepared for the worst. The worst case scenario I said was possible was we're just good enough not to keep our selection, just bad enough not to make the postseason. That was the worst case scenario, and I think it's probably where we could end up. I've prepared myself for the worst, so when it happens, I won't be too upset. Frank C. Grumpy.
Parcells walked away after that season. Then the whole Belichick drama, 1 year of Al Groh, and then a few years of Herm Edwards, Mangini, Ryan. Then the shit train started with Bowles and Gase. Yeah, man. But you know what? The Jets have always been bad forever. They've just had a couple of years where they were good and just usually just crap. That's the Jets. Well, for me, if you're a Jets fan, and they're 100% right about Rodgers not being great in the postseason, but if you're a Jets fan, don't you just kind of want to make the playoffs? That shouldn't be.
Anything can happen.
That shouldn't be the end game, though, right? But,
no, Grumpy, anything can happen, though.
If you're a fan of a loser team, a loser franchise, making the playoffs is a big deal for you. It should not be the end game, but I think fans will be excited. Aaron Rodgers got to this playoffs for a couple of years. And I think Rodgers, when he comes to the Jets, he's going to be really good. He's going to be super motivated that first year. Remember, they're all on rookie contracts, all their best players. That's why they can take a guy like Rodgers. They don't, it's not like he's on a rookie deal, but everybody else is.
Now, I want to post this up here. Jalen Carter will receive no jail time for his speeding and his racing on back roads or on the roads. He will receive 12 months probation, pay a $1,000 fine, and perform 80 hours of community service. Wow. What a fantastic lawyer Jalen Carter
Still
must have.
maintain a license.
Look at that. He
got his wrist slapped.
He was driving 90, in a 30-mile-an-hour road about 3 months before this accident and was caught racing again. And after lying about it, he just received 12 months of probation where it's like, don't drive 30 miles over the speed limit again in the next 12 months. A $1,000 fine and 80 hours of community service. Well, shit, his community service that he has to go ahead and probably partake in as a member of the NFL probably gets the double dip with that. Isn't that just mighty convenient? Looks like Jalen Carter is going to be doing extra NFL shifts there for whatever team drafts him.
He got his wrist slapped. That's the way it is.
It's ridiculous.
But here's the thing. He struggled in workouts for teams, could not complete them.
What do you mean?
He could not complete the workout for NFL teams.
Well, what do you mean by the workout? Because there's different sections of the workout, Grump.
I don't know which one. He could not. Here's the thing. If you're going to be a number one draft pick, you should be able to complete the workout. I don't give a shit what is. If it's walking through fire, you should be ready to complete that.
He reported 9 pounds heavier, and he struggled at the pro day. I'll have to look at what happened. He opted to do only position drills. Jesus Christ.
Like I said, he could not complete the workout. This is your pro day. He did nothing at the combine, and he only half-asses it. He's a kid I'm not looking to draft.
Police alleged that LaCroix was racing Jalen Carter when the SUV was driving, was left when he left the road, and he struck 2 power poles and several trees. Police said LaCroix's SUV was traveling 104 miles an hour, according to police. She had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.19 or 0.197, 2.5 times the legal drinking limit or legal limit in Georgia. I'm looking here. Yeah, he didn't speak to any teams afterwards. My God.
He's not doing himself any favors.
He opted only to do position drills and did not participate in any other aspects of the workout, including the 40-yard dash, the cone drill, or other physical tests. He did not finish the position drill workouts because he was cramping up and breathing heavily. Holy fuck.
Couldn't complete the workout.
These are one of these type of guys that a team will draft because of what they saw on the field, has the potential because he just does not have his life in order off the field to be a complete bust.
What happens when you give a guy like this $5, $6, $7 million a year?
Going to be more than that if you're drafted early in the.
He buys even faster cars to drive even faster. That's what he does.
Here's the thing. The flags that the teams are wearing are not Georgia red flags. They're red flags on this kid right here. He was supposed to be like the best player in the draft. I think he drops big time. I think he drops outside the – I think –
he won't drop outside the top 10.
But I think you get a steal at him at 8 or 9. Okay. What is this? What is this? What is this? Why do you do that? Don't do it.
Pausing. You're doing some weird pause.
So what? So what?
What are you pausing for? Huh?
So what?
You do that weird hiccup shit where you burp.
So I had a hiccup. So
Houston
what?
Means a 9-point game right now.
Anyway, is that why Grumpy's getting upset?
No, you go like this. I hate when you do that.
Anyway, Jalen Carter's a guy where I don't know.
Can't complete a workout. Those are red flags for teams.
Well, just out of shape. It's not the fact that he can't complete. Showed up out of shape,
Okay.
9 pounds heavy, out of shape. Didn't do any testing because he just didn't work at. He was at the combine, right? But
he did nothing there either. What
have you been doing? What have you been doing all off season long preparing?
He's been
eating and racing cars.
The racing cars.
Like your agent. Here's the thing: your agent, right, should have you where it's like, hey, this is Joe Montanacci. You're training with him. This is what we're doing to keep you on path and steady to be ready for this combine. This is what we're doing to keep you ready for pro day. Well, here's the thing. If he's not participating or not busting his ass, you have to worry about what he's going to be doing in off seasons all the year long. That's what you're worried about. I mean, like, what is he going to do year 2, year 3, year 4? if he can't even freaking stay motivated for the largest test, the physical test he's ever going to have. That's what you worry about.
He couldn't even complete a workout.
D tackles, when they're lazy, are guys that are going to balloon up and get fat as a bastard, aka Alvin. Like, remember Hainsworth?
His whole game is
Albert
on
Hainsworth.
speed and quickness at the tackle spot. He's not a 350 pounder. He's like 290.
He is powerful, though.
Yeah, but his game is predicated on speed and quickness.
Yeah. Good
And
body
you can't even
leverage.
complete a workout. To me, if I'm a GM who's looking, I was like, my interview portion is, dude, why could you not even complete a workout?
Why are you so bad out of shape?
I don't
That's
care
my
about
question.
the weight.
Why are you out of shape? Well, no. He was cramping. That's why he couldn't complete it, because he's out of shape. He's cramping because he's out of shape. Why are you out of shape reporting to your pro day? Why are you out of shape to some of the biggest tests you're going to have? Why are you not in shape? You have been finished with your season since January. You have had 2.5 months to get yourself prepared. Why are you so badly out of shape? That's the question. Why are you out of shape?
Yeah, but that's it. It's like you can't even complete a pro day. How are you going to complete a practice in the NFL? To me, red flags are all around this kid now.
Potential red, yeah, I was about to say, potential bust category is way through the roof. It's like, I'm not saying he's going to be a bust, but his potential to bust out is much higher now than it was before. The Broncos apparently they're shopping Jerry Jeudy. They're asking for a first-round pick or a high second and a player for Jerry Jeudy. Now, Jerry Judy's a guy who's been a bust, in my opinion, for where they drafted and what they expected for Jerry Jeudy.
That's an awful lot. He's really a slot guy, is he not? He's not a boundary receiver for them. He's a slot guy.
He kind of plays in different spots, but he's a guy who's too banged up on a consistent basis. He's always banged up.
But that's still a lot of money for a slot. That's a lot for a slot guy. And what does it tell you about them? They don't want him. Denver doesn't want him.
He'll be 24 next year. He's still super young, but it's like, yikes.
He was pals with Ruggs.
Well, remember they went to college together, him and Henry Ruggs.
At least he hadn't killed anybody with his car.
That seems to be a problem here.
Yeah,
that seems to be a problem with those Alabama, or I guess he's a Georgia kid there.
SEC.
You can lump him in SEC.
Okay, SEC. Fast cars and driving well over the speed limit while drinking. I guess that's just a fun pastime for the SEC players. I thought this was a freaking huge deal for the Bengals. This is fantastic. And is it a shock that offensive tackle Orlando Brown is what we're going to be talking about today? A huge deal for the Cincinnati Bengals, Grumpy and X.
Okay. He turned down, before free agency started, $95 million over 5 years from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
He wound up costing himself $31 million. I guess a lot of people don't feel that he's a high upside left tackle. He's a real improvement for the Bengals, though.
Yep.
Or maybe he wanted to play for the Bengals. Maybe he just didn't want to sign back for the Chiefs.
I don't think that's the case.
Maybe this deal offered him more guaranteed money too. I'm not sure about the exact deal that he was offered for the Chiefs. I'm not sure.
But what is this? What is
maybe he didn't like seeing Jackson Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes' wife in the locker room.
And Brittany,
I just got to get out of here. I'll take anything. I'll take a $1 contract to get out of here.
I just think, what does this do for Cincinnati? It enables them to maybe renegotiate with La'el Collins to see if, because he was not going to play tackle. Maybe he boots inside to guard like when he was.
La'el Collins used to play guard for the Cowboys,
and he was better there. I think he also played for the for the Dolphins on the inside. Did he not?
I thought he was only the Cowboys before this, but I'll look it up.
No, I think he's bounced around a little bit. But I mean, that if they can get him to take a lesser deal to play on the inside, that's a big boon for the Bengals. Their offensive line has been their weak spot the last couple of years.
Just Dallas and Cincinnati.
Okay.
His first year in Dallas, he did play guard. Then he played tackle. He played right tackle for all of his time period at Dallas. And I think he played left tackle for the Bengals last season.
Okay.
So here you go. You got two strong tackles is what you've got. You could kick whatever tackle you feel is not, the most proficient at pass blocking, kick him inside the guard. This is huge for the Bengals. Absolutely monumental. Big, big, big move for the Bengals in the right direction. Huge play for them.
Okay, that's enough offensive line.
A huge Huge deal, Grumpy.
I mean,
Here
I
you
like what the Carolina Panthers have done quietly.
Yeah, I was about to say, you worried about they're not going to have many weapons. I thought the Hayden Hurst signing was a really good signing for the Panthers. I think he's an underrated tight end.
He's a ham and egger. Okay, he's if Hunter Hurst, I'm sorry, Hayden Hurst. If he's your number one option, you're not that good. They need wide receiver help. I like what they did at the running back position, bringing in Miles Sanders on a 4-year, $24 million deal. I thought that was smart to replace Christian McCaffrey. They run the same blocking scheme at Carolina that they did with the Eagles, where Sanders had a big year last year. I think that's beneficial. I do like the bringing in of Hurst. I also like bringing in Andy Dalton, who quietly had a pretty good year last year as a mentor for whoever they draft with the number one overall pick. I like what they did. I think they've revamped their defense. They're using that 3-4. They brought in a new D coordinator, and they signed a guy or two from Denver who's familiar with him. So I kind of like what they've done this offseason.
Still need wide receivers and some offensive line help.
Desperate. No, they got the same line back, and their line was pretty good the second half of the year. Once they had the Bozeman kid come in at center, Bradley Bozeman, that line solidified, and they just re-signed him 3 years, $18 million. So I like what they've done. I like what they've done.
Drill said here, I wouldn't go down to Florida. Tony Cheese hates Florida. Just Boca Raton, says Tony Cheese. Tommy Shredder said, Odell Beckham Jr. out there looking for Debo Samuel money. Not sure how the extra weight is going to help is going to affect that knee either. Buyer beware. It's got to be a 1-year deal.
Yep, 1 year, $7 million. That's my offer for him.
Tony Cheese says, Frank K has Sitting Bull hair, long locks. Frank says here, oh yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. is dreaming if he wants $20 million. Come on. Tommy Shredder says here, Grumpy, do you watch AEW at all?
I actually watched a little bit of it yesterday, very little. I'm actually more interested. They're going to have a series where, like, a behind the scenes thing. I'm kind of interested in that. Wrestling,
like a Hard Knocks for AEW.
Yeah, kind of like that. Okay. Something like that.
Yes, I figured out how to do that. I can always add him on full screen, no issue. Shay says here, I think they should play the video when Diaz comes up to pitch that video. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Frank says, great. Will somebody pick up Zeke? I'm sure somebody will take a chance. So he won't get paid big money, but somebody will find value in him.
They'll take a flyer on him for certain.
Shay said, I'll make a video of the Grumpy Old Man dancing for a future podcast. Thank you, Shay. What happened to Zeke? He just got old and banged up. Trevor Bauer signed to play in Japan.
Good for him.
Yep, good for him is right. Shay said, I got a ball yesterday at the World Baseball Classic from Richard. How do you pronounce that, Grumpy?
Bleer.
Richard Bleer. And he signed it as well as other players. The guy next to me reached out and caught it. Bleer gave him a dirty look and stared. Stared him down until he gave me the ball. So once the guy gave it to me, he was like, why didn't you let her catch it? Oh, damn. Look at that. Shay's got connection.
Always,
even with the players.
You know who would have signed a ball for her back in the day? Mike Piazza.
Yeah,
Piazza. Frank said here, why does Son X not want to show his face? He's got to have a better looking face than TJ. Oh, Frank.
Grumpy knows have a better looking face than TJ. Especially with that hideous mustache.
Easy TJ, no way. I will say Houston is tied right now at the 16th seed, Northern Kentucky.
Yeah,
they lost
Houston by 10
now. I want to show you this. Michael Irvin, we talked about it a little earlier last week. Now they had an update to the video for Michael Irvin, and now this is the exact video. That was just a short clip. Now the Hilton, I didn't think they didn't want to release this, but this is I guess during Discovery they found this.
Yeah, this is what I sent to you earlier in the week.
So this is the individual who accused him.
And this is his lawyer's team.
We've been going for a while. We're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word to her, offensive, vulgar thing that he did not say. It's clear from the video and from these witnesses. They have a very lengthy conversation, and no one's trying to tell us what that is. Go ahead.
Looks like there's some back and forth.
She doesn't look offended to me.
No.
She took a half a step back. She did take a half step back there.
That's where she tells some kind of joke, I believe, when we seen her bend over. She's shaking her head back and forth like that.
You tell Michael Irvin's been drinking a bit.
Yeah, he's wobbly. He's absolutely wobbly.
Yeah.
He's on wobbly leg street.
There's the handshake.
I want you to watch the interaction here. That she's going to kind of, when the people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over his shoulder.
Keep watching this.
Okay, hold on, Grumpy. I want to hear them.
And see right here, she'll look back over her shoulder and say to Michael, now pause it, pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back at the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's going to go over here, and that guy is going to go he's going to get very visibly upset with her. And basically, if there's somebody who's, I don't want to use the word abusive, but there's somebody who's really being forward to her, it's this gentleman here. It wasn't Michael. So watch what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll the tape. You see him grab her, and she falls down, pause it. Now Michael's looking over there for the first time. He's not watching her. He's talking to these guys. You'll see in a second, they turn around and they start talking to him. The guy in the white hat. Okay, go ahead. See? Now Michael walks out to go take a selfie with this, we believe, Renaissance employee, 99% sure. And the security guy stays right there with him. He's been around for the whole conversation, really.
The Marriott is going to lose their case.
They should.
I would assume so too, as they should. I mean, what they did to him was miserable. I mean, like, ugh.
They didn't want to show any of that to anyone.
Because it doesn't back up what happened.
And what this does is it hurts women going forward when things really happen, because people see this and they're like, well, oh, she's just lying, or she's just trying to make money, or whatever. And then you see this come out. It makes it bad for all other women who are accosted.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's all it does. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad for, I don't know if the Marriott forced her into this or someone forced her into this or what happened, but it's a bad look for the Marriott. Sorry.
Well, Michael Irvin is an animal. He's just a menace to society. Look at this. Michael Irvin recently caught on. Look at this, Grumpy. He was putting a young child in a chokehold, Grump. Oh, God damn it. Did it pause?
He's giving a sleeper hold. It's a sleeper hold.
Boxing champion. States champion.
He seems, again, I know people have met Michael Irvin. They said he's a great guy, and I mean a great guy. And this is after, obviously, his playing days. I've heard that during the playing days there were some stories, but
absolutely.
But they met him after his playing days. Seemed like a great individual. Huge hands, by the way.
He had cocaine issues.
I've known other football players that have some cocaine issues there.
One of your favorites, Grumpy. LT.
He also did say this. He said, Michael Irvin said, "I'm so thankful for this video because without it, I don't know where this would have gone."
Right. It's like, exactly, because they're going to lose. Marriott's they'll settle out of court. He'll make money. I don't know how much, 5 million, 10 million. Who the hell knows? He'll make money on this. And he should. They should. They hurt his livelihood. They really did. Because do you think that
they're going to sue him for $100 million?
You're still going to have, well, that's what he wants. He's not going to get that.
They're going to settle for something else.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's done irreparable harm to him. And how does it make NFL Network look? How does it make the NFL and NFL Network, those gutless weasel bastards?
They're never going to hire him back, even though he does a great job. And what we could see here with our eyes is that he didn't really do anything bad. I didn't see any sort of attacking an individual. He's just talking to somebody. It looks like they did a friendly exchange from what the video is. We don't hear anything, but it looks friendly. She didn't go off like distraught or anything like that. That would indicate what the statement from the Marriott was true.
It's like I said, I don't think they fired him, but it's done.
Suspended him.
Right. But I think it's damaged his reputation without a doubt. But the NFL, again, instead of actually here's the thing. When they got players beating the living hell out of their girlfriends and wives. They just ignore that. You want to know why? Because they're part of the money-making machine. Michael Irvin.
If you've got players that are providing murder weapons for other individuals and other ex-players on your team, well, we're gonna wait to do anything. We'll wait until we prove anything there.
Deshaun Watson. Wait. When they could have taken care of that years ago. Wait. Here's the thing. Those guys are part of the money-making machine. Michael Irvin isn't anymore.
Yep.
This would have been handled totally differently if Michael Irvin was still playing the league and was good. The fact that they can just dismiss him like that, I tell you what, he should get his job and they should publicly apologize to him for overreacting. Just because someone said something, again, just like I said, it used to be innocent till proven guilty. Now, with certain type of allegations, it's guilty till proven innocent, and that's absolute horseshit.
Well, what's gonna happen with him is I don't know if they'll ever hire him back, because it's always about the opinion of public, or the court of public opinion. When that got released, the public opinion is what it is, and it makes up the public. The casual public makes up their opinion within the first 24 hours. They forget about it and they say, "Oh yeah, didn't have Michael Irvin go ahead and assault somebody at the Marriott at the hotel, because that's what I saw on the news and that's what the headline said." So, oh yeah, I'm going to be big angry if they hire him back on and they bring him back on the show.
Well, he should go on a big tour saying, this is why you have to let things play out. Not everything that's an accusation is not fact.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but he's going to make. He's going to make money off the Marriott without a doubt. I don't know what NFL Network is going to do, but they have egg on their face too for overreacting to something that, somebody accused them. Oh, it's a woman accusing a man. Guilty. He's absolutely guilty. That's the way they look at it. Let a player beat the living shit out of his girlfriend, break a kid's arm. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here, because
my kid's ribs, and I have video of me on the phone call talking about punching my kid.
They're part of the money-making machine. Alvin Kamara. They knew he beat the hell out of that guy the night before. He played in the Pro Bowl game the next day. Nothing happened to him. They let him play all next year. They knew what was happening.
Yep.
They knew exactly what was happening with Alvin Kamara. Guess what?
Magically, the video didn't get released until recently. But hey, until the video gets released, keep playing.
He's part of the money-making machine right now.
I know.
Well, but that's the whole crux of it.
I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I know you've made your point.
It is wrong.
I agree with it.
And it's not going to change.
I could give you a million examples of them doing that. It's always the same.
Do you remember when Greg Hardy? Do you remember that defensive end who was at the peak of his career? Yes. Greg Hardy, defensive end for the Carolina Panthers, pummeled his girlfriend, absolutely beat her up, black eyes, broken nose, stuff like that. Originally given a six game suspension, he was able to get that overturned and knock down only a 4-game suspension, because guess what? You're right. He was a part of the money-making machine.
It was 10. It was initially 10, got knocked down to 4.
Oh, I didn't know it was initially 10.
And he had a lot of other things. The guns on all the guns that he had. They had the photos of him with all the weapons that he had. I mean, it was a bad look for Greg Hardy. He didn't serve that suspension. I don't think it was till he went to Dallas. I think the Panthers cut him loose.
I got to pull up this image because it was bad. Yeah, they're showing like her back, her face. Okay, maybe it wasn't a black eye. You know what? It's kind of hard to confuse. I will correct myself. Did not give her a black eye or a broken nose. Here you see the bruise under the chin. You see the back of her shoulder and her back there kind of bruised and marked up.
I mean, he absolutely beat her up.
Yes. That was originally a 10-game suspension. Then it got bumped down to a 4. Not good. Yeah, and I do remember he went to UFC fighting after that, but he was a guy who was at the peak of his career. You're right. Yep. Back for the Dallas Cowboys. And the peak of his career. Hey, move it from a 10 to a 4. Get him back out there in the money-making machine, as Grumpy says. My little brownie, Grumpy.
I know he's got the New York Rangers the cup, but I feel Messier more revered. He's more revered by Rangers fans than Oilers fans, and he likes the Rangers more than the Oilers. Am I alone? I think he's more revered by Rangers fans because it was the first cup that they won since 1940, where the Oilers fans, while he was really good there, it was always Gretzky. Even though we won a couple of cups without Gretzky, it's Gretzky. It'd be like gosh, I'll try to draw a comparison. I don't know. Any team where you have like an all-time great, like the Chicago Bulls, let's say, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. I mean, whatever. I know it's apples and oranges, but when you have a guy who's like, like an all-time great, everybody else is kind of in second place there. But let's see. We'll read a couple others. Drew asks, so Grumpy, I'm curious, what's your thoughts on Pat McAfee? He's a clown. Absolutely clown. He wears cut-off T-shirts on his show. What a loser.
I think he actually grew out a mustache recently as well.
Yeah, probably did. Then the people are starting to talk about how Gretzky was the main difference in Edmonton. I'd 100% agree on that. Let's see. Talking about Northern Kentucky is just chucking up threes every possession. Yeah, looks like they're down. They're going to lose. They gave it a valiant effort. They're done. Then Drew asks, Shea says, the difference is Engvall is young and has speed, need to transition to speed, which we did in Engvall. For me, he's just not physical at all. I mean, at all. He's not going to win any puck battles. I mean, he's a bottom six guy. If he's a speed guy and he plays on your first line, okay, and he's good enough to play on your first line, okay. But when you're, a bottom six guy, you're going to have to throw the body. He does not do that.
Did you also read Frank C. Grumpy?
Yeah. I went through a bunch of those comments that were very similar, so I just piggyback saying yes. Everyone looked at Gretzky as the main guy in Messier.
Frank says, Bavilier is playing with a superstar, TJ. You think that has anything to do with it? Sure it does. But here's the thing. We talk about Bo Horvat, right? The guy we gave up so much for. When he's not playing with a superstar, his numbers drop to freaking plummet back down to earth.
And Bavilier is not making $8.5 million a year for 8 years either.
He's making $4 million a year, and he's got 7 goals. He's got more goals than Bo Horvat, more points, and a better plus minus. I'm just saying, it's like, I'd like to see a little bit more. You don't get paid $8.5 million a year to play a solid game without putting up points. You got to put up points to get paid like that as a forward. Shay said here, did you already put this up?
Yep, already did that one.
Nope, I paid for my tickets, $70 in row 9 on the ice. I didn't meet any players or anything like that.
Shay, just to let you know, we're just playing with you because
Shay's hiding something on us, Grumpy. I'm not buying that at all.
Yeah,
That's
we're just playing with you, so that's just going to be part of it. You're going to be the person with the connection. Sorry.
Drew says here, by the way, what are the Raiders doing? It's like they want to suck next season.
It's like they are Patriots West.
Signing G was terrible. Ugh.
Here's the thing. If they draft a quarterback in the first round, it's not terrible. But if they do nothing else, it's not. He's better than what they had. You can win games in the regular season with Jimmy G. You're not going to win Super Bowls with Jimmy G. I think what their GM and coach are saying is, we want to stay employed. We have to make the playoffs this year. That's what I really think it's about. Then they signed Jacoby Myers, another guy from the Patriots who has a history with McDaniels. We'll see.
Yeah.
Tommy Shredder says here, Giants win the NFC East. DraftKings have them at plus 450. Jets win the AFC East. They got them at plus 200. I think a lot of that is on the speculation that they're going to get Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, yes, of course. But I mean, you'd still have to say Buffalo's lost some guys this offseason.
Sure.
I think Miami, if they could just keep Noodles healthy, I mean, they have a shot to improve their defense. The big thing is keeping Tua healthy. That's it for the Dolphins. If you keep him healthy, you have a shot, certainly, of making the playoffs. But if he's not, no shot.
Shay said here, why would somebody why would
a team want someone with this big of an ego?
I'm not sure who that's at, Grump.
Maybe
it could be anybody. Could be Carter. Could be Beckham. Because if you can play, it's the thing in the NFL. It's all about talent. They'll live with your off-field antics and your clown shows if you produce on the field.
Drew said here, looks like Jalen Carter will make a perfect Las Vegas Raider.
If he slips to 7, do you think they don't pick him?
They probably will.
That'd be a good pick for them. I'll be honest with you. No one expects him to slide that low. They need defensive line help to go with Crosby and Chandler Jones. I mean, they would help them.
Joseph C said, screw the Devils, by the way. I'm glad the Lightning gave them some humble pie the last 2 games. I still don't trust the Devils goaltending in the playoffs.
You know who's another team that's heating up? Tampa Bay Lightning.
Always at the right time.
They know what they're doing.
And it's pronounced Byler.
No, it's pronounced Blyer. Like Ricky Blyer, but I thought it was spelled. I thought it was. I just went with how it usually sells. If it's the 2 vowels in a row, the hard vowel sound is the first one.
Fuck. Going back to English class. Frank C said here.
Maybe you should have. Maybe you should have paid attention in English class to learn how to damn read.
Irvin should sue those bastards at NFL Network.
If he gets fired, he will sue them for wrongful termination.
Yep. Tommy Shredder said here, Grumpy's 100% right here. If they're active in the NFL and a star, they get a pass. Anybody else is going to get crushed.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Greg Hardy now pummels people for a living. He must have taken inspiration from beating up his wife. Oh gosh.
There is no truth to the rumor that he just makes those people wear face masks of his old girlfriend. No truth to that rumor.
There it is. Shea Cedar, Horvat never played with Pedersen. Yeah, he played. He didn't play with Pedersen. He played with Bo Horvat. Or I'm sorry, he played with Brock Besser at times. He played on the power play with Pedersen, but he was a guy who was having a career year and a contract season. Andrew L said here, Michael Jordan has engaged in serious talks, maybe to sell the majority of his stakes in the Hornets.
That's good news for the Charlotte Hornets. He's a failure. He's a failure. I'm sorry.
He doesn't put any money into the team, and he wonders why they suck.
And people don't go.
He doesn't do enough to. He is the icon of that sport, and he does not market and utilize himself enough because he probably wants to do other things, which is fine. But his total interest is not in owning the team.
No,
don't own the team.
Last year, when the North Carolina Tar Heels went to the championship game, he was at all the Final Four games wearing his North Carolina gear, hey, cheering on the Tar Heels. You never see him at Hornets games.
He was at a Hornets game, I think. I don't know if it was recently or a little while ago, but
why was he not at those Tar Heel games wearing his Hornets gear? He's the owner of the Hornets.
He's a Tar Heel. That's what he believes in.
Yeah, it's where he played college. That's what he is. Tar Heel first. And I mean, the Hornets suck, so that's another reason why he probably doesn't wear any of their gear.
He should be there every single game talking to fans. Every single game.
Or he should. I'm not saying you got
to autographs because he has an official contract with Upper Deck where he can only sign autographs.
Take pictures. Take pictures. Be one of the people. There's 42 games or 41 games at home a season. I'm not saying you have to be at all 41, but damn, he's barely at any of them. What is he at, like 5 or 6 games a year? You're the owner of the team. You're the freaking icon of the sport.
They want people to show up. I mean, he could sign. If somebody walks up to him, he's not going to say, no, I can't sign your autograph because I have a contract.
He absolutely will say no. Did you see the video of the guy who had I think he has the largest collection of signed Sports Illustrated magazines, and he walked up to Michael Jordan. He saw him in a hotel room just in the hallway of the
also
hotel
an
room.
Asshole from what I understand.
And he said, I just need 5 more of these signed to complete my collection. He's like, I'll give you $15,000 to sign these. And he said,
well, because he's trying to pay for it. He wanted to buy them. See, that's different. Hey, Mr. Jordan, you mind if you sign for me? I guarantee you, if you met him out, I mean, here's the thing. He's got video of it. You know what that means? He's going to publicize that shit. If somebody just walks up to him, I bet you'd have no problem signing a program for a kid.
I think you're 100% wrong.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Guess what? Michael Jordan? You're freaking owner of the basketball team. You get paid off of Air Jordan 15%. What is it? 10 or 15% of all sales, right? Not talking profit or revenue. Sales of all of the Air Jordan brand. I don't know. If you spend as much time worried so much about how much I could get paid per time I sign a little ball, maybe he could make the Hornets a much more valuable franchise. But he didn't.
He doesn't care about it. He thought, hey, it would be cool to own a basketball team. I guess he just thought that all the pieces were going to fall in place and the team was going to be good without spending any money on it.
Frank C said, "Great job, men. Have a great night." Thanks so much, Frank.
Okay.
Drew L said, "Grumpy." Also another team that's heating up, the New York Knicks. Oh God. Andrew L said, "Greg Hardy had a couple fights in the UFC. He got KO'd, and Dana canned him. So now he's boxing." Oh God. And Andrew L also said here, if you want to see Greg Hardy get knocked out versus Tuivasa, it's a very good watch. I do remember he got knocked out that one time.
Oh, I thought maybe that was his ex-girlfriend's lawyer. She knocked him out in the court of law.
Drew L said, "TJ, can you look up that Jordan article of what Andrew L said? Hopefully he's not getting that like a ball from like Ball Sack Sports, which is a notorious troll account. It's from ESPN. It's not false news."
Yeah, I heard that he's thinking about selling the team.
It's not false news, Anime Boy.
Anime boy.
Correction, this Anime Boy is a meme lord in the podcast. Anyway, and we're here at the end of the show. Grumpy and Sun X, what do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ, the grumpy old man, and Sun X.
Sun X, what do you want to say?
Yep, just want to thank everybody for coming out and listening tonight. Almost at the weekend, and March Madness is here. A lot more big games.
Thank you, everybody, for watching and tuning into the show today. A lot of basketball this weekend. A lot of sports to be watching. Enjoy yourself. Hey, you're right. It is Friday. The weekend is poking its little head over the hill. We're so close for the sunshine of the weekend. But thank you so much, everybody, for watching the show. Thank you so much, Grumpy and Sun X, as always.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. If you've enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Apparently, it helps the algorithm, gets our word out to the masses. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We love the input. We love the comments. We love the perspective that you guys bring to the show. So thank you so much. And again, thank you so much, Grumpy and Sun X.